Hello everyone and welcome to the STPL. My name is Kix, joining me is Rapid, and we're here for the final day of the STPL Christmas Cup.
That's right. What more could you hope for? There's $200 on the line, which is a pretty large prize pool for online Brood War tournaments in 2018. There's 3 of the best South Korean amateur StarCraft players, 1 returning pro, and the final foreign hope of the STPL Christmas Cup, eOnzErG, all competing, like I said, for $200. It's going to be a good day, Kix.
Yeah, and the prize pool could still increase. There are still lots of codes to be used. Use the link in the chat, put in STPLCC, which is also in the chat to make it a little bit easier, and you can donate a free $1 to that to add to the prize pool. So it's all good.
$3, Kix.
Yeah.
I thought nothing in this life was for free.
Yeah, well, you know what, Matrino? They're truly the Santa Claus this year, giving away lots of free money.
Is that what it is? Thinking emoji on that one. Anyway, it's going to be exciting because there are lots and lots of good games to play. Some of the newer maps you guys should be getting used to, and if you're not used to them, you'll get used to them by the end. So you just have to keep watching.
Yeah, so we're going to be starting off with 2 best of 3s. The first one is going to be semi-finally. That's Naz's eOnzErG against Seoul's YSC. And then we're going to have Scan, which is also for Seoul, and Seoul's nOOB as well in semi-final B. The map order for those is going to be starting off with Holy World, heading into Hitchhiker, and then going into Whiteout. And then the finals just after are pretty much this in a different map order, but it's all good. Holy World SE is going to be our first map here, and just have a look. You may have seen it the previous, or yesterday, plays a lot kind of like Outsider. The middle of the map is incredibly open though, which I think in ZVP is going to benefit eOnzErG quite a lot. It's going to be a lot harder for YSC to get those blanket storms down than it maybe wants to. And I'm kind of looking forward to seeing how both these are going to play it out. And also, of course, there is the neutral command center. And I'm hoping eOnzErG is going to infest it and go infest
All
the
I'm trying to
Terrans.
say is, whose stream was it watching? I think it was like No, it wasn't Arcneon. It was somebody else. Community player stream. I saw an infested Terran kill an entire supply group of zealots by just like walking into it. I'm like, feels good. And this is one of the rare maps where you actually can have infested Terrans. I wouldn't say reasonably easily, but more than on almost any other map because of that neutral command center. It's a cool artifact, but it doesn't get used all that often. It's just like the D-Matrix webs around it. So yeah, or not D-Matrix webs, it's a disruption web, D-web, whatever. D-Matrix, D-web. Cool artifacts, it's a neat map. Let's get into it.
Yep, so let's head on over into game number 1. It's Naz's eOnzErG versus Seoul's YSC. And starting us off here in the top middle position, we do have the green Zerg fighting for himself under Team Naz. It's eOnzErG.
And his opponent, former Samsung Khan practice partner in the yellow as Protoss. This is YSC, also known as Huro, but YSC is what he's going by now. It's his Korean name, Yoonsun Chol, and that's why he has chosen those 3 letters. And he's obviously one of the best players in the amateur Korean scene, just because he does have that previous pro pedigree, kind of like a Larva for a long time. He was a practice partner way back in the day, and now he's come back and is just like a titan of the current scene. Huro, getting back from his Korean military service, is really starting to kick into high gear, joining a lot of foreign tournaments and having very strong performances.
Yeah, now Lava was a practice partner for SK Telecom T1. One of the reasons why I follow him quite a lot now. Obviously, I was a little bit of a fanboy back in the day. And seeing like YSC, I mean, he is a player that practiced with Stork, practiced with Jangbi. I mean, Khan's Protoss was one of their strongest races in terms of lineup, so really cool to see YSC here finally making something sort of of all those years of practice. Unfortunately, due to the way sort of pro Brood War ended back in 2011, it kind of ruined the careers of a few people like YSC. So it's good to see him getting more exposure finally, and being able to show us some really good games.
Yeah, I think the games in this tournament have actually been really spectacular. But wait, but wait, what's this? Uh,
Nexus first.
yes, that is quite the early Nexus. 12 Nex coming through. Actually, it was Nexus after Pylon, so it's not like he just didn't build anything.
Yeah.
But obviously, you know, that kind of goes without saying, right? Nexus first is insane to do against Zerg. That means that for the most part, because he's gonna have to forge or build a forge, unless he cannon rushes, there is no way to be aggressive on the map for YSC. Now, I mean, cannon rushing is always a possibility, but this does mean that you have the opportunity to throw up a very early third base. And that's exactly what eOnzErG is going to do.
Yeah, now, I mean, YSC obviously reading into the fact there was no spawning pool does manage to get it, but he'll get the Nexus first. Gets it a little bit quicker, that's going to boost his economy. Obviously, he's trading early game power for late game power, so looks
They're
like the
coming
police
for you, Kicks.
It's always the same time every day, I'm sure of it. They'll wait till I start casting. There's not been a... I've been home 2 hours. There's been no sirens.
It's their lunch break, and
Yeah.
they just want to, like, go get some food. Oh, Kicks. I just wanted to point out that eOnzErG went for this third hatch before he had actually scouted that it was fast expand or Nexus first. So I mean, sure, he's not going to get punished for it, but I mean, maybe this is where you throw down a fourth hatchery. I mean, you can just go all out early on in the eco, but I think he's just going to go for some sort of like 5-hatch Hydra bust.
With Lair though, so I mean this could be a muteless build that wouldn't be out of the realms of possibility for eOnzErG, but could also be for very quick lurkers. This map is actually pretty good for doing a lurker contain on, and obviously lurker drops are going to be really, really good here because there's so much space behind the mains in all 4 directions, so...
Yeah. I mean, obviously, your opponent does have cannons up, so if they do choose to play more defensively, a lot of players will get a cannon in the mineral lines to stop against, or to help against, like, mutas or lurker drops. I love players that take this pressure advantage, or lack of pressure, and just go into crazy macro mode, get up an insane economy, and then just like power through off the back of that. Because the big problem in this matchup is getting your third base as Protoss. It just takes a long time. So
yeah.
I will see. Lair's about to finish. What is the play here for eOnzErG?
Now, I mean, one thing about this map that we did kind of neglect to mention as the map image was up on screen is it's actually really, really easy to get a third base at Mineral Only on this map, but there is sort of a Mineral Only base in this top left corner. Yeah. The minerals aren't going to help the Protoss too much. They do need that the extra gas for extra Corsairs, extra Storm. And I mean, YSC is about to get his first Corsair out relatively shortly, so he's going to be able to go into and at least scout what's going on. He's getting +1 air attack as well. So fairly kind of standard from him. It's going to be interesting to see if he goes for Reavers here, or if he's going to go for a Citadel, but that's kind of like the main diverging tech paths we might see in this game.
This is why I would have liked to see an aggressive Hydra game, or lurkers, like you said. It's just because this is going to be +1 Corsairs, so I believe we're going to see some sort of like Corsair DT style, and I don't think that the Spire is going to help out too much. I mean, maybe he just thinks he's got enough of a lead to go mutas or something like that, but I mean, at the very least, we're going to see some Scourge, but what else is there to hold on? He's going up to that 5-hatch play, so we should see a Hydra Den here pretty soon.
I mean, the second Corsair's out in the middle of the map now. The Lings aren't in a position to scout for this, but the Spire could as well be just for some Scourge. He does know that YSC, at least from his previous games, has done...
Well, I mean, unless he's going crazy Zerg, like, he can't build other units except Zerglings.
Yeah, he's definitely in a bit of a weird situation. He is going into +1 Carapace on his Flyer. He is going into 6 Scourge at least to begin with. and he is going to add I believe that's a 5th hatchery over in the 3rd base, along with an evolution chamber to wall off as well.
Got
so
five hatches, an evo chamber, nothing but Scourge. This is weird, man. I've never seen this before.
The one player I've seen something similar to this from is Lava. Lava obviously known for just turtling up really well on 3 bases as getting a 4th hatchery as well, which is going to be really easy to do when he goes into that main. It's going to be hard to get any units down there.
Oh, he's going to get this Corsair. Oh my god, Scourge are so dumb! Oh my god, they could have killed that Corsair. There's 4 Corsairs actually, wow. And they are about to have +1, it's about to complete. That is going to be a big deal. And this is going to be combined with the fast +1 speed lots. So the man lots are coming across the map with the Corsairs, with maybe a DT mixed in, because the Templar Archives is just about to finish. And man, this is going to be a weird game to go mutas.
Yeah, I mean, the one benefit that eOnzErG has, and quite possibly the reason why he skipped Hydra Den for this long, is he knows that it was Nexus first, because he did scout with a drone just after the Nexus went down, so he knows there's not going to be as many units at this point in the game if he can get enough sunken colonies up, which he's trying to get into now. He didn't have any scouting out the middle of the map, so he is going to need to do a little bit of drilling here if he wants to save himself, but here come the Mulus with the Scourge. There's not too many Corsairs, and they're nowhere near anywhere that can help defend this. The drill does come out, and it looks like he is going to be able to hold on without losing too much at his 3rd.
Yeah, it's painful to watch Mutas kill Zealots because, like, oh my god, they're so bad at it. So he's gonna have to pull the drones. He did lose maybe 3 or 4, but not any.
Oh, he's lost 4 Overlords. That's
the Overlords, though, is the main tragedy. Oh my god, this is so terrible. And this is perfect by YSC, even though.
Oh my god, DTs as well. Oh, this could be game over.
Okay, yeah, you split the army. You can't deal with multiple turrets in multiple locations. Here come the Scourge, but they get mowed down because it's a billion Corsairs. And now the DTs are going to kill everything. GG, eOnzErG taps out. Ooh, that's one of the reasons you don't go mutas. But in his defense, if YSC had tried to just run everything in, the Mutas and Scourge could have taken out all of the Corsairs and then killed the ground army, and that would have really set him up in a great spot to slingshot across the map. So
yeah,
obviously that's not what happened, and we're not, like, criticizing his build choice. YSC just played that really well, splitting his army, and you can't put the Mutas and Scourge in multiple locations. So
yeah,
wow, that was rough.
I think the one thing that really hurt eOnzErG that game was the lack of scouting in the middle. I mean, there wasn't really too much he could do other than leave Lings out, which would just be sort of meat for the Zealots to kill, but he had no idea what was coming his way. He kind of saw some units leave the base, didn't see where the Corsairs were, and because he had no defense for his Overlords whatsoever, the +1 Corsairs absolutely annihilated them, and then that just left the DTs free to kill everything, so I guess
that's Corsair DT, right?
Yep.
That's Bisu build, as like iconic as you could want. Obviously, I think that Bisu's build is a little bit different than that, but the idea is very, very focused timing there for YSC. Played it beautifully, splitting the +1 speed lots off to one side, the Corsair DT off to the other. So good. And now we're going to move on to Hitchhiker, which is a very strange map. Have we cast this yet in the Christmas Cup?
We haven't in the Christmas Cup, no, but we have casted it in the STPL round 2, obviously. Was around quite a bit, just to show it off on stream in case the people haven't seen it before. It is from 2006, so kind of an old map. But it's a pretty cool map. There is kind of a path through the middle of the map, which is a very, very quick rush distance. But obviously that's very tight, very choked up, very easy to defend a little bit later on, of course. And you have all the bases around the outside, which are really pretty good for Zerg to just kind of mass expand all over the place without any zealot pressure.
Yeah, it's very unique in that trough in the middle is... I guess it's kind of Blue Storm-esque, but in Blue Storm, like when you go down the trough in the middle, you can walk up either side. This time, you're just committed. That's where your army is. So it's really, really difficult. This is like the antithesis of something like Holy World, where the middle is like all wide open. No. This is about the most closed off you can get. So if you're claustrophobic, it's gonna feel rough.
Yep. Without further ado, let's get into game number 2. of this first semi-final here for the STPL Christmas Cup. It's eOnzErG versus YSC. And starting us off here in the top left position, we do have eOnzErG fighting for himself here from Team Naz. Down 0-1, but is this the man that can bring it back? He beat Bjorl yesterday, coming back 2-1. Can he do it again?
Well, his opponent in the red as Protoss, in the bottom right-hand corner as YSC. Just for everybody in chat, this is an ex-Samsung Khan practice partner. He's come back after military service and is really putting the pain to foreign players in non-Korean tournaments. He has been doing very, very well, and he's taken a win off of eOnzErG in game number 1. It should be noted that this is the semifinals of the STPL Christmas Cup. Pretty large prize pool, and so there's a lot on the line. And what Kix was saying earlier is that eOnzErG is a player from Cuba. He lives in Belgium, obviously, but he is one of the best non-Korean players out there. And he advanced here to the semifinals through a very, very difficult bracket, taking out a very, very strong player named Bjorl, who is another up-and-coming amateur player, one of the few that's been able to qualify for a major tournament, ASL. And eOnzErG took him out. Incredible games, very well played. And so I'm hoping that he can bring it back in this series as kind of non-Korean hope left in this tournament.
Now, and not only that, he's also the only non-Seoul player left in the tournament as well.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I mean, Seoul sending out a lot of their best roster for the Christmas Cup. Obviously, a lot of them do stay up obscenely late in the evening as well, so that benefits their Koreans when it comes to these sort of cups. They play a lot in Have At You as well for the same reason. And it looks like YSC going to go very quickly with his probe across, block the first hatchery, and just make it a little bit harder for eOnzErG to get that first gas. But Eon went for pull first. He does have some lings already. And those lings are going to find themselves rushing through the map against only one zealot for the time being.
Yeah, 6 out on the way. This probe's trying to be pesky, annoying these probes, but it's actually taking some pretty bad trades. So let's see how this is going to work out. Obviously, the shield battery is coming up because it's not a Forge Fast expand. It's a Gateway expand, and against 6 fast lings, you are going to need more than a partridge in a pear tree.
Oh my god, he actually gets us around.
Around on the zealot. No way. Good reposition, but that zealot does get precious, crucial shield batter energy. He just GG's after that. Wow.
I think Eon was slightly tilted. That's something. I mean, it was a very, very early pull, so he was really needing that to work. He five-pulled
him, rushed, but YSC had the perfect scout. I mean, obviously it's a 2-player map, so you're gonna get that. Perfect pull. That's like the best defense I've seen of a 5 pull. A textbook. Wow.
Yeah.
And that's going to do it. Wow.
eOnzErG
out of the tournament like that, 0-2.
Yeah, you know what? I can't believe it. He did incredibly well against Bjorl. Came back from 0-1 down. I thought, you know what? If anyone can go further in this tournament, it's going to be eOnzErG. But unfortunately, just things weren't going his way that series. He played Series 1, got kind of pulled apart by a really, really nice unit split. He didn't have enough defenses. He had a couple of Sunkens, which weren't really enough to deal with the Zealots, and he didn't have a Spore either to deal with the Spore colony. So unfortunately, he does drop out the tournament in 4th position. So, or at least 3rd or 4th.
Well, 3rd, 4th place.
Yeah.
So outside of top 2, that's what we like to say. It is best of 3 in the semifinals, but you're still in the money, right, Kix?
Yeah, you are. The top 4 spots do get some money. So we're going to go into our second series of today in just a second. We're going to be going into Scan versus nOOB. Obviously, Scan, one of the sort of best amateur Korean Terrans at the moment. He's been around for ages, and nOOB, one of the best amateur Korean Protoss as well. So going to be a really hype matchup. I'm just quickly loading the first replay, and we can sort of get going with the game. So I mean, if anything, out the 2 series, this is probably going to be the closer one. I thought eOnzErG would definitely do a lot better than he did, but obviously I kind of admin the tournament, so I knew that he got a little bit salty afterwards. So I kind of had a feeling that that was going to go that way, but I didn't realize it would end that quickly. That was 20 minutes
Okay.
for one series, so...
Yeah, I was gonna say it's gonna be a short night, Kicks. I might get some sleep after all. It's only 5:30, Kicks. You have to keep me up for at least another 3 hours. Wow, what a short series. Now it's 2 best-of-3s and then a best-of-5 finals.
Yep.
What is the prize pool distribution on this, Kicks?
So let me just double check. I wrote it all down. And to check it, I'm going to have to hide your camera because you're going to become a bar. Oh, actually, I've got my phone.
Oh.
Look how clever I am. I can open
You're
Discord.
so smart, Kicks.
This is like highest production value right now. I look like I'm.
Right?
I look like I'm on nOOB Proleague, just looking down at the screen they have in front of them. So it's all good.
Yeah, the production there is actually super sick. I saw a little bit of behind the scenes on that. It's just like, okay, well, I'm actually moving to a studio setup. Well, there's a studio attached to where I'm moving, so hopefully there's going to be a little bit of that production in at least my future. But for MPL, their production is sick, and it does include screens to look at things like prize pool distribution.
They do. Yeah, they do. I mean, looking at the prize pool distribution, first place is 40%, second place 30%, third place 20%, and fourth place 10%. Now, the prize pool currently is sat at around $200. There is a Matrino code.
Yeah.
And if you click on... No, it's donate.
It's just exclamation mark donate. Anyway.
Yeah, basically,
okay.
There's a code you can put in. It's STPL CC. If you put them both in, well, if you put the code in, you can donate a free $1, courtesy of our sponsor at Matrino, to add to the prize pool. So, really thankful to Sham2 as well for adding the $100 he would have put on Hey into this instead for this week, so he could have a little bit of a break. But it's been a lot of fun casting this so far.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to getting to our next series.
Really good. Okay, well, let's get into our next series, Kicks.
Yep, so I'm going to load up the replay. Let's quickly introduce the map once again, just in case people missed Game 1 of eOnzErG versus YSC there. Holy World is a really cool map. This is Holy World, the SE variant, so this is the second version they made. I think that's what it's... I don't actually know what SE stands for, but it's in a lot of the Korean maps. I think it's like second edition or... It's a special edition?
Yeah, special editions were made. This is interchangeable with TE. So in modern nomenclature, it's LE for ladder edition.
Yeah.
There's usually a special edition, and then TE would be tournament edition. And they do that for some maps where they don't agree with one of the map decisions. But that's been phased out a whole lot.
Yeah.
Usually they just use version numbers now.
And now they use them like Neo as well, because you're gonna get, well, they've always used Neo, but Neo Sylphid is coming out with...
or Shin or something like that. It's, you know, because there's Peaks of Baekdu, that was the map, and then Shin Peaks of Baekdu is version 2 of that map.
And then
like
Chapungryung and Shin Chapungryung as well. I'm probably murdering that word. But yeah.
Yeah, it's not bad. I think the biggest changes to SE were, what did they change with that map? I think they changed the way that the base architecture works, but I'm not totally sure. Anyway, I'll get some stats on that. Let's get into the game, Kick.
Yep, let's head into game number 1. It's Scan versus nOOB here in the STPL Christmas Cup. Okay, starting us off here in the bottom right 4 o'clock position, we do have the yellow Protoss. It's nOOB.
And his opponent in the red, as Terran, is Scan. Now, obviously, they're both from the Team Soul or the Clan Soul. That's why they have the Soul in their name. Then the next letter is their race, Protoss and Terran, and then their ID is after that. nOOB, somewhat ironic because he is a very, very good player versus Scan. Who is, bilingual, streams a lot, kind of bridges the gap between the foreign and Korean communities, and really, really nice guy. We're getting sushi next weekend. He doesn't know it yet, but I'm going to show up, and we're going to go to the same place we went to last time. Really cool guy, but he's serving his military service right now. So that's kind of the breakdown of the 2 players. I don't know who to expect to advance, because while Scan's build orders are a little bit more crisp, his play is a little bit more solid, nOOB can get a little bit creative, and I think that might throw Scan off a little bit.
Yeah, and just to bring up something that was in chat, apparently it is second edition. I'm
Oh,
gonna
it is?
give I'm gonna give Rota and H-Ray Phil medals. They did ask for medals, but unfortunately I don't actually have any, so I'll just it's a metaphorical medal for you guys. It's all good.
I'm okay. I'm googling this. I'm not wrong on this. I promise. And just because in one instance it stood for second edition doesn't mean that there were not other instances in which I was correct. All right. So let's just put a hold on
You know what?
our hasty analysis here.
It's Christmas. It can be both. Let's make everyone happy. It's all good. Oh wow, Scan actually pulling his extra SCV to try and deal with the probe. Doesn't get any hull damage, but does manage to take out all of the shields. But nOOB being very, very annoying with this probe early on. Oh,
It's out here. I'm just going to keep Googling this. This is the only thing that matters in life. This is actually really sick SCV micro to try to take this probe out.
It is.
Got it down to about 7 HP. But yeah, it's going to take a little bit more to... Wow, this control on this probe. Forward gateway, by the way, so Zealot's going to show up almost instantly because they are in close spawn.
Yeah, now, the sad thing about watching this probe micro is it reminds me of my games and how much I struggle when the Protoss I play do not control anywhere near as nOOB, as well as nOOB even. So it just makes me depressed knowing that no matter how good I get, I'm always going to have the same problem.
Well, you're not wrong. It takes a long time before you don't have those problems anymore. And in truth, everybody still always kind of has those problems. Oh my god, this probe's about to kill an SCV.
Maybe not. Looks like the Marine is going to chase this away, but nOOB is still being incredibly annoying. He's even going for SCVs in the mineral line as well. This man cannot be stopped. Looks like we have got good SimCity here from Scan. But oh my god, he cancels his factory. He moves it back, but that's going to be really annoying to have to lose your factory like that early on. But he needs it in a place where he can micro, because if he can't micro against this Zealot, the SCVs are just going to keep dying.
Yeah, and there's already second Zealot coming through. Man, this looks like an Artosis game if I've ever seen one. Ah, that glitch on the Marine right there. I know that feeling. He's going to lose a second Marine because he's not moving. Oh, wow.
Oh my god, the probe!
The probe! The probe finally gets his... He always gets his man. And that was only one Marine against the
and the SCV.
Very low. Yeah. Oh my god, did you save that Zealot? Oh, he did, didn't he? Oh, you. This is starting to get a little bit crazy.
Scan went up for the Zealot, but actually took a little bit of damage on his Marine to make that happen. So things not perfect for him. The Marine actually getting caught by the other Zealot as well. When is this pain gonna end? Another 2 Marines go down, and 2 Zealots still within the base. And the trouble is, this is just the beginning. There's a core now. There is going to be a Dragoon on the way, and his factory has only now just finished.
Yeah,
oh my god, there's 3 Zealots in his base.
Yeah, I think this is pretty over kicks. He's going to make a Vulture. That's going to come out and help take these Zealots down. He's going to take economic damage. He's not going to be able to micro his Marines here. They're going to die. Even though he will eventually clear up these Zealots, the Dragoon coming in. The Dragoon is going to be kind of what seals the deal here.
You can kill a Dragoon with a Vulture. You need perfect SCV micro. That's one of the things that Scan is actually really good at. He's really methodical and...
But the problem is there are low ground bases on Holy World, so you can't defend without pushing up your ramp. Otherwise, you lose the miss chance. So, this is just going to be rough. Bunker coming down, but I mean that's not going to get a chance to complete. Second Vulture or Dragoon on the way. He took the shields off of 1, but he still needs to hang on here. Second Vulture. Actually, no, he went for Siege Tank after building.
Oh my god, this Bunker's going to finish.
Yeah? Wow. Okay. It doesn't mean anything unless he saves the Marines, though. He actually will not. So, congrats on your Bunker, dude.
But he gets a Marine. Oh my god. The Assassin Vulture.
Yeah, that's not the way that's supposed to go. Surprise Dragoon kill, nOOB. Not paying attention there. 2 Dragoons, or 2 Marines in this Bunker, but, I mean, we're not going to see range anytime soon, so it's going to have to be up to the Siege. The Siege Tank coming out, and there's no Siege mode, keep in mind, so it's just gonna have to fight as a tank.
Yeah, but this is fine. He's actually cut the Dragoon count down for now. Noob is not going to be able to just run through him, which is going to be good for Scan. Now, of course, he does need to make sure he continues to repair the bunker. If the bunker does go down, Scan's hopes in this game are going to be going down as well. 2 gateways on the other side of the map now for Noob. Only 1 factory here for Scan, and no natural expansion. And by the way,
Yeah,
just to answer chat, Rota, it's the Disruption Web map and the Neutral CC map. It's got both.
yes, we just got it all. The only thing this thing doesn't have is like cloaked lurker eggs and stacked neutral buildings.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's got everything else. Whoa, trying to move forward and snipe that tank. That was not the right move to make there. Still keeps his Dragoons alive, but man, this is just scary. Nexus just now finishing before the command center's halfway done. A very, very strong rush here from Noob, but I think you can see how much pressure that's putting on Scan, who did stabilize, but he's still in a little bit of a rough spot.
Oh, the bunker's going to go down, I think.
No siege mode.
If this bunker goes down, things are going to get really hairy really fast. I mean, the Marines are still there to buffer. It does take 8 Dragoon shots if I remember rightly to kill a Marine. Or maybe 4. Sorry, it's 4, isn't it? 8 would be way too much. But there we go. 3 tanks against 5 Dragoons. Does kill one of the Dragoons, but oh my god. The Assassin Vulture works again. And he manages to take down 3 of the Dragoons.
That final hit really, really good. Now, 2 tanks versus 3 Dragoons is not that scary for the Terran player, but you're going to have 2 Dragoons at a time with that second gateway coming across the map. And this is just cascading this this advantage that Noob was able to get. He's going to try to break through. One of the Dragoons has like 2 HP. He needs to mass repair these siege tanks because like he's going to lose everything here. This is the only thing that actually matters. He's got plenty of resources.
Oh my god, the
SCVs glitch out. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Is he going to lose the SCVs glitching out? He's not repairing at all. Oh my god, Scan's falling apart. The final siege tank dies, and that's it. GG.
What an insane game. You know what, like, games like that, they may be over quickly. I mean, that was 7 minutes 55, but that was on a knife edge from the very beginning. Scan almost held against the Zealots. Well, he did hold, I guess, technically. He did take a lot of damage, though. His factory was delayed. Then Noob comes in. Scan desperately tries to get a bunker up.
Yeah.
Manages to do it. Holds on for a little longer. And then his SCVs bug out on top of one of his tanks, kills one of his tanks, loses the other tank, and then loses the game. I mean, that could have gone so many different ways. That's just insane. I love games like this.
That was the most Artosis game I've ever seen. Where you try to micro your Marines between the depot and the bunker, or the depot and the barracks, and they get pinched and they glitch out and they die to the Zealot on the outside, even though that's not supposed to happen. And then when you try to repair either your bunker or your siege tanks, the SCVs glitch, and not only does your unit not shoot because the SCVs are on top of it, but the units die because they're not being able to be repaired. What a tragedy.
Yeah, that's
there for Scan.
That's a normal Terran game for me, so it's all good. Like, everything's glitching out, everything's bugging out, Zealot's killing everything. But you know what? Scan made a valiant effort, and there is still 2 more games possibly to go. If Noob obviously wins the next game, he's going to win the series. But we're going to be moving once again into Hitchhiker. Now, just have a look at that map if you've not seen it before. Some of you may have seen it during the round 2 of the STPL, but it is a 2-player map. We did just have it with eOnzErG versus YSC. The game ended very quickly there, though. 2 corners of the map. There is a very small, tiny corridor through the middle of the map, which makes it very difficult for large Protoss engagements to happen, but also makes it very difficult to get a large Terran mech army through as well. And that is why the outside of the map works. You can see it kind of winds around on itself. There's a mineral-only base up there to start with. Then in the very corners, there's the extra gas base. That's going to be your 3rd gas. But there's also some semi-island bases hidden behind some side disruptors. Now, obviously you can float a CC over there or drop like a probe in with a shuttle. But they are quite open to the middle ground from siege fire and things like that. So looking forward to seeing how this is going to go with a TVP.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how it's going to go when Kix makes the lobby for the next game.
Okay, I did make the lobby, but it said it timed out again. I don't know what's going on, but I'm getting this problem a lot recently.
Yeah, I think you just have to add like an A to it or something.
Yeah, it's kind of weird how it's only now happening, whereas it's been like 2 months or something without me getting the problem. I should probably mention something to like Matt or something on Twitter.
Yeah, he's gonna be bored in the office, working hard over the Christmas holidays.
Yeah.
I gotta give him something to keep him busy. But for all intents and purposes, we are ready to go with our second game in the second best of 3 semifinals. The winner of this map will go on to face YSC in the grand finals of the $200 STPL Christmas Cup.
Yep, so let's head on into the game screen. Starting us off here in the top left position is going to be the green Protoss fighting for Soul and himself here. It's going to be nOOB.
That's right, and his opponent on the other side of the map in the purple, that's Terran. This is Scan. Really struggle-licious first game. Got forward gatewayed and couldn't deal with the Zealot pressure. Lost a couple of Marines to glitches, lost some siege tanks to glitches. It's a heartbreaker of a game number 1. And so I'm hoping that we see a more conservative, a safer game number 2 here from Scan, so that we can at least find out how well these players match up against each other.
Yeah, and I mean, we've seen some incredibly long macro games on this map. I mean, one of the games to just remember about SCPL Round 2, it feels like an age ago now, but it was only about 3 or 4 months ago, the last time we saw Hitchhiker in the SCPL. One of the last games we saw was a TBT between Reggie and Radley, which had all the lockdown rates that you may have seen in various highlight videos that I posted all over the place. And Rapid, I believe we need to set the high latency.
Do we though? I don't think we do, Kicks. Fine.
There we go.
I appreciate our chat reminding me that we need to do that. Otherwise, it kind of looks like the game's going in slow motion. I wish it was possible. Actually, yeah, you can slow down the replay manually, Kicks.
Yeah,
so
I have done that before by accident.
Oh.
Like, we were watching it on fast, and it was like, wait, this game is going on a long time.
Yeah, I was like, wait a second, this is not the way I play Brood War. Anyway, it is going to be what looks to be maybe a barracks expand here, coming out from Scan. This is another, not forward gateway, but it is a gateway opener.
Yeah, it's a gateway opener. It is in his main though, so it's not sort of crazy out in the middle of the map shenanigans or anything like in the middle of his natural, which can hurt you a little bit later on. The probe is of course going to get in. It's a 2-player map. You can't really do anything about that. So Scan is going to be forced to micro his SCVs again. Now, we saw how much nOOB's Devil Probe did before. Let's see what it can do this time. Looks like Scan's a little bit better prepared. I mean, nOOB is up at 500 APM nearly right now, and this would have been played on turn rate 24 because they're both in Korea, so I mean, this is kind of insane.
Yeah, but they don't live super close to each other, so there can actually be latency differences if one player is way north and the other is way south. But anyway, all that to say is,
SCV, 9
you're
health.
probably right. Is this SCV like? Yeah, at this point, you stop and repair it. Just is he gonna kill the probe? Oh my gosh, that probe ran into the mineral line and survives with like 2 HP left on it.
Oh my god, he's going back in. He wants that SCV. He wants the kill.
And
oh well, the probe goes down.
That was pretty close. I mean, not extremely close. 9 HP on that one SCV, so it would have taken a while. But anyway, the probe goes down. That means there's no more vision in Scan's base for nOOB, but Scan does have vision with the SCV scouting. Sees the range spinning and knows that gas is not being repurposed for anything like proxy DTs or Reavers or anything crazy like that.
Well, I mean, the thing is, when you're going from range into one gateway, that's a relatively... I mean, it is a normal opening. It's not some kind of crazy ultra-fast 2-gate that's going to go kill you, like what killed him in the last game. But it is something you have to worry about until you see the Nexus has gone down. You cannot be sure of anything. Now, nOOB is going to go for that quick Nexus on 21 supply. He's going to take the closer Nexus, but obviously this is the only one that's relatively close to his natural with a gas, so... Well, it is his natural, so that makes sense. But Scan is going to be going for his command center as well.
Yeah, I guess the next closest base with a gas would be essentially the third way out in the middle of the map. and that's really close to your opponent. When you're playing PvT on this map, that is the base that gets pushed first. So you probably want to save that expo for a little bit later on. But hey, you know, we've got a normal game, Kicks. We've got siege mode on the way, so it's going to be a longer one here. And this should favor Scan, just because, like I said earlier, Noob is the more aggressive, creative player. Scan is the more macro-focused, technical player.
Yeah.
And so I think if the game goes longer, Scan should be a little bit favored in that regard.
Yeah, no, I mean, Noob does have a single Dragoon out here. This isn't really going to be able to do too much. It will scout the fact the command center isn't on the low ground. Doesn't give him any information whatsoever. Scan is actually going to head around the bottom half of the map with his SCV to scout around for some proxies, because as I said before, he doesn't actually know if there's a Nexus or not yet, and he can't be sure. He knows Noob is a very aggressive player, he knows he's very creative as well, and he just needs to play safe, and this is one of the big tells of how Scan plays. We're going to have Robo coming in from Noob, but Scan, despite everything, will always play safe, will always play relatively standard, and will always have pretty strong build orders.
Yeah, I think that that's something we can expect, not only because we see this natural expansion being erected for both players, but we should actually get to third bases here, not the too distant future. I guess the next step is really kind of identifying what the tech path is going to be. Are we going to go straight into
Robo,
Reaver?
I think.
Well, I mean, he has a Robo already done, but I was just wondering if he goes OBS before Reaver. He's getting a shuttle out, so we are going to see a very, I guess, quick trip across the map for Noob. What's he going to put in that shuttle, Kicks?
It's going to be a Reaver. Robo support bay coming up in the bottom bit of his main by those temples.
Oh, yeah.
Now, not only does this serve as a good anti-scout mechanism, you know, very unlikely to scan down there, but it also gives you vision over these two temples. Now, these are stacked, if I remember correctly. They do have 5,000 health as well, and it takes a long time to break through them, but it isn't without history that Terrans have actually tried to break through those with a 2-factory or something like that. Obviously, we're not going to see that in this game, but even like a 6-fact push onto those temples could be a good move. And obviously, the map is replicated, so there is going to be the same option for Noob on the other side.
So with this Reaver about halfway done, how prepared is Scan going to be for this? It does look like he actually does have turrets coming up right now, but yeah, they're not really anti-Reaver turrets. They're more like anti-DT turrets at the front of his base. So he just doesn't want to get kind of bulldozed through the front. So I think he should be okay for the most part, but this Reaver has got these little pockets behind the mineral lines in both bases that it can just drop in and kill everything. So
yep, there's something that I am really looking forward to. There is going to be Reaver carrier coming up behind this double Stargate by where the Robo support bay is. This is going to be in a hard place for Scan to scan as well. He only is now just getting his academy. Now there is a Wraith out on the map, so there was a starport that I don't actually know where it is, so it's down the bottom middle of the map. That makes sense. But this Wraith could actually scout for this shuttle, and this could not be good for Noob.
No way, Scan. Oh, he saw the shuttle, or did the shuttle see the Wraith? Whichever one. That Wraith pushes this shuttle Reaver 2 Zealots away, and wow, that's going to be a big delay. Also, I want to say that if you're going to choose to do this very, very gas intensive build, you know, for Noob, I feel like he needs a third gas for that, but he can't take the one in the middle of the map because it's so close. So I was almost expecting to see him like put a probe in a shuttle and just send it to one of these harder to take bases or harder to harass, like the upper right. But yeah, he's not going to do that either. So he's going to be going two base carrier Reaver shuttle off of only 2 gases.
Well,
he's take a lot.
He's breaking into the middle of the map here. This is that semi-island base I did mention before. Now, it isn't possible to siege down the Nexus from the low ground, from what I remember. I think you can maybe get 1 siege tank with the ability to do it. But this Wraith is actually going to see this happening. Now, there is finally an observer here that can actually shoot the Wraith. Wraith gets baited in just a little bit, but does pull away at the last second. But the important thing for Scan is he knows that that area has been broken into. When he scanned, he only saw 2 gateways as well, which does give a massive tell to either Citadel Arbiter tech or Stargate carrier tech, so he should know that something is up, but he's not entirely sure what it is. He's going into a science facility that's going to allow him to start +2 immediately as +1 finishes, really well timed out by Scan, and he's starting to spam factories. He knows that it's carrier, and I think he knows that by the unit count. But you can see the Xel'Naga temples being attacked here by nOOB. nOOB is going to try and bust through, but as I've said many times before in many different games, is he breaking through into Scan, or is that going to open the floodgates for Scan to get to nOOB?
I think initially it will be nOOB with a slight advantage, but as soon as Siege Mode comes through, what are you going to do as a Protoss player with primarily gateway units? Obviously, he does have the shuttle in that, or the Reaver in that shuttle, but you can't fly into siege tanks like that. You can't fly into Goliaths like that. You can't fly into Reigns like that. So until carriers come out, I think Scan's in a ton of control. He's got a third base on the way.
Yeah, wow, he's actually working off of just one machine shop at the moment as well. He is going to add a second one now, but that's going to be 8 factories. He's going to be able to build Goliaths out of 6 of them as soon as he gets the ability to. nOOB knows exactly what's going on Scan's side. Scan does in fact scan the carriers, so he has seen that it's happening. We should see Goliath production starting immediately. Actually cancelled a load of vultures there to begin them straight away, and you can see that Scan is going to start adding missile turrets at his third base to not only get rid of this observer but also defend his mines. So Scan's in a pretty good position at the moment.
Indeed he is. Oh wow, 1 HP on that observer. I hate it. Hate it when that happens. So yeah, Scan is in a really good spot. Obviously he should maybe start scanning to take out these observers, because all the information is being given to nOOB, who's now taking a 4th base in the upper right hand corner. Ooh, I think Scan though is in a, like you said, in a good spot, especially when he gets 2-1 upgrades to attack 1 armor. That's going to be a very powerful moment, especially because he already has so many Goliaths that this carrier tech is, not really going to be that effective. How many carriers does he have? 2? Yeah, I think he has 2 carriers.
He only has 2, and he's actually not been constantly producing the carriers. He's not going super all in with them. He is adding more gateways, but the trouble is, look at this Terran force pushing through the middle of the map. nOOB is actually sending all his units around for a counterattack, but he's still not broken through. It looks like he's going to drop the Reaver in the main with these Dragoons. Can he take down the reinforcing Goliaths? He's going to be relying entirely on carrier micro hits, try and keep it alive. The mine gets taken down, and it looks like the Goliaths are eventually going to clean this up, and nOOB's second gas base is going to go down.
Yeah, nOOB is going to lose that second gas, but the Reaver is actually still alive, and the shuttles are ferrying more gateway units into the main. And actually, oh wow, he needs to micro this Reaver. Pick up the Reaver, pick up the Reaver. Oh my god, the Reaver's almost dead. A couple more shots. Ooh, wow, barely keeps it alive. This is actually starting to fester a little bit in the main.
Yeah, wow, there's actually not that many Goliaths with this tank army. There's not too many carriers, though, and nOOB's units all actually got stuck in the middle of or in the top middle of the map, and the Dragoons trying to come back, getting killed by the siege tanks on the low ground. And suddenly, Scan has decimated nOOB's army, and there is a Reaver at the top of this ramp. It is stuck behind the gateways, unable to really do too much, and the carriers are going back in for round number 2.
Yeah, a little bit of a taste of his own medicine there. Game 1, Scan lost to a couple of glitch units. Game 2, nOOB is having some struggles, but I don't think there's enough Goliaths here to keep this alive. So I think Scan is just trying to do as much damage as he can with the units that he has, recognizing the Goliath count is really just there to keep the carriers busy.
Yeah, keep them away from the tanks. The thing is, a large swell of Goliaths is coming back in. Scan taking the bottom left location, reinforcing with vultures as well. He knows the large zealot swell is one of the only things that can really do too much from nOOB. nOOB does have the top right bases mining now, but losing his gateways in his main. He's going to lose his second nexus, and this Cybernex core is not likely to be able to finish +1 air weapons. It's so close, but does go down to that combined fire of the tanks. 2 additional carriers almost finished, But I mean, with just 4 carriers, he does not have the critical mass that you need. And just look at the small amount of interceptors he's got.
So he actually did finish +1 air weapon. That's pretty impressive, but he doesn't have enough, and that's going to do it. Noob taps out. Scan with a very strong push. Evens up the score at 1-1 in this best-of-3 semifinals.
He does indeed. Now, I mean, this is quite possibly the best thing we could hope for. A game at number 3 in one of our semi-finals here. Just to answer Terran Force in the chat, the score from eOnzErG versus YSC was 2-0 to YSC. eOnzErG seemed to get a little bit tilted, unfortunately, and left game number 2 very, very quickly. So that's why we're kind of already in the second series. So early in the cast. But I mean, that was a great game. Good to see Scan manage to pull it back there. Noob, not with the right amount of units in the right place at the right time, unfortunately, and the pathing really hurting him. He actually had like half his army just stuck in the top middle of the map, which is not something you can really afford to have.
Yeah, oof, man, Hitchhiker's a rough map for that. Either you get stuck in the top, bottom, middle. The pathing's insane with all the destructible doodads. It's hard to maneuver any army, much less a Protoss one, through there. I thought that Noob was actually going to do a critical amount of damage in Scan's main, but Scan was just barely able to hang on, even though there were continual elevators of additional units into his base from the back of the shuttles. But
yeah,
really rough game.
The shuttle play there was really clever from Noob. It had kind of multiple purposes. Obviously, it tries to keep Scan busy, but most importantly, it keeps the Goliath reinforcements away from the carriers. And if he was given a little bit more time, the second couple of carriers come in, his interceptor count builds up, those tanks are absolute mincemeat. So really well played by Scan there, obviously well played by Noob as well. And we're going to get into game number 3, which is going to be on Whiteout. Now you can see the poor part me over there, but here we go. Whiteout, we've had a lot of good games on this so far. It's actually one of the newer maps from the Africa TV Star League Season 7. But this was played on version 0.90, Whiteout 1.0 came out the day after the tournament, so an older version of the map, not too much change though, and we've had some great games on this map so far.
Yeah, absolutely, it's really kind of delivering. Glad we get a chance to see a new map before it is played in a professional tournament like ASL. It's going to be in the next season, and pros are already getting a ton of practice on it, whether it's in this tournament or other offline tournaments. It's really delivering. So very exciting to see strategies kind of develop here, because it is a very strange map. So I guess without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the game.
Yep, let's get started. It's Scan versus Noob, game number 3. Okay, starting us off here in the bottom middle, we do have the yellow Terran fighting for Soul Gaming and himself here in the Christmas Cup. He wants to make it to the finals. He was down 0-1, but he came back in the series. It's Scan.
That's right, and his opponent is our purple Protoss player Noob in the upper right-hand corner. Really looking forward to seeing another long standard game from okay, so he's saying DLRJ is the first 4 characters. That's is this best of 3 or best of 5? He's just saying it's best of 3, and then they're saying, oh, they're talking about what version of the map this is, based on which bases have which resources. If I'm not totally mistaken, my Korean's not that great, but that's what I got from there.
I guess that makes a lot of sense. There's been a few versions of this map. As of,
yeah, they just released a new one.
Yeah, 1.0 came out Monday, so Sunday even. Because this was played on Saturday at 0.90, so one version before the newest one. But when it gets to sort of version 1, that's when you kind of start to see the more finalized version of the map. I just kind of wanted to put it in here, A, because this map looks really awesome, B, because the games I've seen on this map have been awesome, and C, because it's kind of I mean, it's a Christmassy map, it's a snow map, we don't see many of those, so it's nice to see.
Yeah, it is actually pretty rare.
Now, just in case people at home are wondering, why aren't there more snow maps? The main reason is because the white is very, very grating on your eyes after a long time. So, even the snow maps there are, like this one, like Tail Cross, there isn't actually that much just pure snow, because back when snow maps like Gorky Island were around, people were like, wait, this is actually damaging our eyes a lot from practicing this, so that was why they kind of got phased out. Obviously, the more common brighter tile set now is the desert tile set, which I can't complain about because I do love it, so it's all good.
Yeah, it's been a while. Let's see. Yeah, I have no idea. Sorry, I keep trying to make it work. But anyway, hey, what's this, Kix? Is that a forward gateway?
It is.
Indeed, it is. And there's a zealot running across the map. Now, you know, one of the side effects of this map is that kind of like, well, maps like Roadkill. Even if you do spawn close to your opponent, you have a pretty long walking distance by ground. So it is going to take a while for this zealot to get across the map. But once he is there, there is you know, recourse, because you can put the Marines between the bunker and the barracks. So hopefully this goes better, because we're gonna get, oh wow, is he turning around? No, he doesn't have the zealot there. It was just coming around the corner. Second Marine popping out in pretty good positioning here. The factory is what's really gonna matter though, and ooh, I love the wall with that extra supply depot. Really good base architecture here.
The trouble is, this sim city is really good for this point in the game, but later on, how is he going to fit his factories in? That's one of the major problems Terrans have, but something that Scan doesn't. Scan is so meticulous with his building positioning. He'll have, like, the rest of his base already planned out. Now, one of the Marines who was getting hit by the probe does actually manage to take it on the probe. One of the SUVs on the supply depot does go down. Oh my god, Scan is losing too many Marines here, possibly.
Yeah, he's losing quite a few. Sorry, I was just holding my breath watching. The control here is really, really good by nOOB. And actually, oh no, another Marine glitches out and he loses it. Another one's rallied right through into the Zealot, but with the Vulture coming out. Oh no, he's gonna lose the Vulture to that Zealot. He was taking like 4 hits from it. The Zealots should be cleaned up here momentarily, although he has lost SCV.
Oh my god, he lost the gas SCV as well.
That's 3 SCVs and I think almost 3 Marines. That's a lot of damage. But notice that nOOB is not committing with his Dragoon. He's walking out across the map, but I don't think this is going to go deep into the main, because he knows the siege tanks should be out in time.
Yeah, this Dragoon doesn't want to get left home alone, but are we going to see a repeat of the last game? We do have 2-gate Power Goon coming out from nOOB. Forward gate once again as well. And I mean, nOOB in the last game did a lot of damage, forced out a Vulture that Scan realistically doesn't want to make. He wants to go into tanks a little bit quicker. Obviously the factory was on time, so we are going to see a siege tank here to help defend this in this game. And there is an SUV in the main this time, actually scouting everything out. So Scan is in the best possible position to defend this, but he has taken a lot of damage. Oh my god, the first Dragoon actually taking a lot of shield damage and hull damage as well.
Well, that's what I was talking about. That's like, you don't put your Dragoon that far out there if you're not going to do something with it. He was looking for the soft contain, and Scan punished him. Scan is one of the... I mean, he does this so much, where he tries to punish not bad players, but you know, nobody can be a good enough player to watch everything all the time. Ah, look at that. The line of sight blockers stopped the Dragoons from being able to kill the Vulture. And it's actually, one of the scariest things is that when you lay mines in this field, it can be almost impossible to kill them before they pop up and kill your stuff.
Yeah. Now, in case you're watching, you've not seen this kind of map before. I mean, it's never really been done in the pro scene before, but the forests are line of sight blockers. They do not give cover, unlike a lot of other things. They are aerial doodads, which doesn't really mean too much. There are some trees like the one in the mains that do give cover, but the main benefit of that is it does block vision. So units that go in there are effectively blind. Obviously, air units get full vision over that area, but it's going to be a while before either player gets any of those, so it makes the forest a very scary and dark place to try and move through. And look at Scan repairing that Vulture. Man, this is why I love Scan. Making the
Yeah,
most out of
he's
everything
doing
he
the
has.
utmost. Yeah, even the little vulture gets a tune-up. This reminds me, I forget what the name of the book was, but so you got like the children's books that like your parents read to you, or like you read as a little kid, you read in school or something like that.
Yeah.
I remember reading this children's book when I was growing up about these like there's like a city of mice, but on the edge of their town lies the dark wood, and in the wood are what is it? There's weasels, and they're big and mean. They kidnap people and they do bad stuff. And I saw this map and instantly it took me back a little bit, Kicks, and I was envisioning the dark woods because that's exactly what it looks like. Because it's weird. I don't like the fact that as an observer, it's easy to kind of forget how limited the vision is sometimes.
Yeah.
Because you can just see everything. But if we have fights that kind of take place in those forest areas, maybe toggle the player vision, because it actually is incredibly difficult to see everything.
Yeah, there's also going to be units, even though they don't get cover technically, like some doodads, in case you don't know as well, do give you high ground advantage as such, so it gives you mischance. These are trees that do not give that. Now, Scan is going to be going for a dropship here. Noob already has defense in places, though. And I mean, Scan has scanned forward, but he misses the Dragoons. This dropship is going to be flying directly into some fire here. But he still manages to unload. How does Scan do it?
Oh my gosh. I'm going to blame that on line of sight blockers. I don't know, but either way, this is just, so difficult.
Oh, and he has to show his Reaver as well.
Yeah, he gets the bonus probe there at the end, too. I don't know how that did damage, but wow. And he even saves one of the dropships, so he can continue to ferry vultures in, even if this Reaver ever decides to leave the base.
Yeah, now, the main reason behind the main reason why this is so clever by Scan is we're going to have Noob trying his utmost when he eventually does go on to harass. I think he's likely waiting for shuttle speed. Yes, he is. But you can see that Noob's attention was slightly divided there, and all of a sudden the Vulture gets into your main base and kills a ton of probes. I mean, there he did only lose one, so it isn't as bad. Shuttle speed now finishing up. And I think the reason why he's waiting for shuttle speed is he does know that Scan does like to go for a Wraith. Shuttle without speed is going to go down to a Wraith immediately. You can't run away. But looks like there was a little bit of a pause there.
Yeah, there's just a little bit of lag.
Yeah.
So it looks like everything is back to being good again. And really all the action is taking place on the 3 o'clock location, because shuttles and dropships and everything keep running up and down. But now there's 2 shuttles containing 2 Reavers, 2 Dragoons, or 1 Reaver, 2 Dragoons,
Oh my god,
2 Zealots.
the Wraith.
Look at this Wraith! Oh my gosh, he's gonna find it. He's gonna have to dump the Dragoons, but
oh my god, he
yep.
needs to drop the... Oh, that's good. He luckily enough saved that shuttle. That was the one with his Reaver in. He is going to reload everything in that one mine. Actually nearly gave Scan the victory in that engagement. Obviously the Wraith not strong enough to take down 2 Dragoons on its own. But you can see Scan once again with mines everywhere, sees everything that's going on, even using his dropship on the high ground here to keep an eye on everything that's happening. Scan, much to his name, has perfect vision at all times.
He really does, Kicks. I wonder if Noob is going to try to force the issue here with the shuttles. I think maybe he just thinks, well, maybe I'll delay, and then he'll forget about it, or think that I've moved them, try to play some mind games. But like you said, there's mines in the base, there's that dropship scouting. I hope Noob doesn't just carelessly lose those, because that'd be a little bit of a tragedy.
Yeah, we have seen games like that recently in the STPL, in the STPL Christmas Cup as well, so even the best players in the world can make mistakes, and it looks like Noob knows that the 3rd command center is going down. Scan is pulling all his units forward, and maybe this is going to be Noob's moment to go into the main. The Wraith was taken down. There is a couple of turrets here though, so does need to be careful. And Noob is actually up to 3 shuttles now, and they're going to be heading into the main.
Here we go!
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Scan's
this is a
back
ride of
already.
the Valkyries.
Oh, no, he's not.
Oh my
No.
gosh. No, I don't think he is. There's one siege tank and a turret.
Oh no, the Reaver doesn't.
But the Reaver didn't get out.
Yeah, the shot with the Reaver was the one at the front. It did go down, and 3 Dragoons in the main base, not going to do nearly as much damage. I mean, we saw a crazy Scarab hit yesterday on 8 SCVs from Scan, but it looks like he has avoided danger for now. And suddenly Noob losing a shot, losing 4 Dragoons, losing 2 Zealots and a Reaver, is in an awful situation.
When you go up for a dunk and you get the ball slapped out of your hand, you don't say, "Wow, that basketball avoided damage." No, it got obliterated. it got completely destroyed. Like this is like if the Monstars fought the Looney Tunes without MJ's secret stuff. Like that's what this looks like. Really difficult position to be in now for Noob. And you can see as soon as Scan kind of batted away that attack, he instantly scans every single one of Noob's bases to see what he's working with. Now there's 2 more shuttles, and those did get scanned. So if Scan can do it once, he can do it again. Noob is going to commit to this playstyle, but it isn't working out.
Yeah, the thing is, he's going into stasis now for his Arbiter, going into this 4th base. Now, Scan did scout that there was a probe there, but didn't see the Nexus coming up. The 2 shuttles going around the edge, going for another Reaver. 6 Zealots this time. Now, Zealots are obviously going to be the big damage dealers when you get into a Terran main. But Scan is still continuing to add depots back there just to kind of make the SimC a little bit more annoying to deal with. An Observer going down, suiciding, unfortunately, to try and get a good scout off. But I mean, Noob is trying to find damage where there's not much to be had. Now, can he make this work? The shuttle at the front gonna go down with none of the units going down, so that's something. The Reaver does get out. Is going to be focus fired down by Scan, though.
That focus fire is the thing of beauty to watch. He's even gonna lose. Okay, he loses like a vulture. Wow. Okay, all right.
How did the shuttle get out? Wow.
It's time to stop. I do not know that. That is a miracle, but nothing else made it out.
Yeah, nothing else did. That's another load of units that went down. Now, obviously, Noob is going up to 4 bases. He's down in supply. He only actually has 6 gateways. Sorry, no, he doesn't. He has 9 gateways at the moment. So things aren't looking too bad for him. It looks like he's going to try and take the other main fairly shortly as well. And if Scan cannot push through the map and finish this, Scan is going to be in trouble. He's only on 3 bases. He does have a 3rd gas, but it's a half gas, so it's going to run out fairly quickly. And he doesn't have EMP just yet, so time is definitely on Noob's side for now.
Well, I mean, he has lost all of that stuff. This is a 3-base Terran player who's about to hit 2-1.
And there we go.
Yeah, it is 2-1. Just now finishing up, and yeah, EMP is really the only missing piece of this puzzle. As well as a science vessel. Okay, he's got 1, but it's a little bit far. Okay, he's got 2. There we go. Sorry, I was just missing those. So he needs to get those up in the front, and as
oh my god, Scan is pushing through the forest.
Yeah. Well, I mean, once you have science vessels, it's a little bit easier to move around. But it's going to be about these EMPs. And EMP just now finished, so we'll see if he can find that pesky Arbiter.
Yeah, now the Arbiter's on top of all the units. Looks like Noob is going to try and move in. We don't have enough energy for stasis just yet. This is kind of the anti-timing for Noob, as the stasis is going to be the big move that he has to try and delay this Terran push. There's going to be an observer going around the other side of the army to see where it's pushing. There is enough energy now for a stasis, but here comes the vessel. Does it get the EMP? Looks like it's going to back off. Oh, he doesn't get the EMP. Stasis goes off, and there's no detection. The Scan does come in. This is a lot of Terran units, but Storm is done as well. Can Noob break through this push?
Yeah, I mean, these storms are pretty good. That second one is nice, but it takes more than 1 storm to kill a siege tank. And so even though that stasis was good and that it removed the detection, there's a 2nd science vessel, and those scans kept coming through. Really well done there. Scan holds on, and now Noob has to re-macro a whole army.
He does. Scan is rebuilding his army as well. Obviously, Scan will have the vultures moving up to join his army a little bit quicker than Noob can, but looks like we are going to have a 2nd Arbiter coming in. No stasis. Nice storm, though, But with all the Dragoons going down, there's no more Zealots left. Wow, he actually picks up the High Templar there. Hot pickup on those. They don't have enough for Storm, unfortunately.
Yeah, one does. And that's going to be it. Wow, I think this is just Scan A moving to victory, 2-1. Good numbers. Those are your lucky numbers, Scan. He's going to push her into certainly the natural here. And while, yeah, there are a couple of other bases, there are no gateways at those bases. So that when the units pop out, they won't be able to come in here.
Oh my god!
He's going to try to bulldoze on top of this. That was more successful than I expected.
Yeah, that killed like 3 tanks on the first Zealot that dropped, so looks like nOOB is going to continue to try and move down. He doesn't have any energy on this Arbiter. It's a fresh one. The Storm does a decent amount to kill some of the Vultures, but you can see there's a lot of Terran units moving through the forest. Some mines actually taking down one of the Dragoons. They're trying to come in from one of the other bases, and with tanks defending his ramp, the Templar Archives is going to go down, the Stargate is going to go down, and these gateways are just still trying to produce as much as they possibly can.
Yeah, I think this is too much damage from Scan. He's going to push in here, lay down the infrastructure of mines. He's got science vessels. He's got, you know, huge siege line. I don't know. Yeah, there's just no way to come back from this. Noob can't even spend any of his money because his units die as soon as they pop out. He doesn't have the extra infrastructure. I think that's going to do it. We should be seeing GG here. I mean, almost as soon as this Nexus dies.
Oh, the mine drag. Oh,
ooh,
such a good mine drag.
Ooh. Okay, I mean, a few more of those and that's going to do it, but there's, I mean, even more units. There's another huge army about to head out across the map, too.
Yeah, I mean, Scan has got his 4th base now as well. nOOB never managed to take the other main, never managed to get that second gateway farm up. And that's really what Protoss used to counter the sort of major tank aggression from Terran in the late game. Like, when you have gateway units coming from both sides, it becomes a lot harder to just camp a single ramp. There's been no recall available. GG! And Scan takes down nOOB to go into the Christmas Cup #1 semi-final, the finals even. And he's going to be playing against YSC, which is going to be really sick.
And more importantly, Scan saves us from a mirror match PvP finals. So that's truly the gratitude that we should be extending to him. But it's just going to such a sick finals. You've got one of the strongest players coming back from the army. Scan, who is in the army, both South Korean badasses going up against each other. And I can't wait to watch it.
Yep, so without further ado, we're going to go into a quick little break just so we can prepare for the finals here. And when we're back, we'll start with game #1 of Scan versus Huro, or YSC. See you guys very soon. Hello guys, and welcome back to the STPL Christmas Cup. We're about to head into the finals of our inaugural Christmas Cup here. Obviously,
why am I a bar, Kix?
You're not bar anymore.
Sweet, thanks, Kix.
It was just, you weren't a bar, you were just very far away. Wait, that doesn't work. Oh well.
Way out there. Anyway, here we are.
Yep, we're here. We're whittled down from 21 players to 2 in the top half of the bracket. We do have YSC, who took down eOnzErG to be here in a PvZ, which ended very, very quickly. And he is going to be up again. Well, yeah, his opponent is going to be coming from the bottom half of the bracket, going to be Scan. Scan beat nOOB, his fellow teammate, to meet his fellow teammate in the finals. It's going to be another TVP, so we were saved from a PvP finals. And just to quickly show off the map order, it's going to be this. It's going to be a best of 5 for the first time and last time in the tournament. It's set 1 on Holy World SE, set 2 on Whiteout, set 3 on El Nino, set 4 Hitchhiker, and set 5 on Tau Cross.
Man, wow, can't believe that this game is, or that this tournament's already over. It's just a short 3-day tournament, as sort of a Merry Christmas to everybody. And like you said, Christmas bonuses coming for our top 4 players out of a $225 prize pool. So
Yep.
if you'd like to make it a $226 prize pool, you can type ! donate in chat and donate $1 for free, thanks to Matcherino. Just go ahead and hit that one up in chat. But anyway, that's gonna do it for everything that we have to talk about before the games. I guess we could just go ahead and get into it.
Well, there is one more thing, just to introduce our first map here, which is going to be Holy World. Apparently, I need to quickly change that. So, by the power production, let me fix it. Looks like it was still set from that after the end of the game. But Holy World is going to be one of those maps that a lot of you maybe haven't seen before. Now, just having a look there, you can see it's a 4-player map, outsider-style bases as well, with minerals on one side, gas on the other, meaning if you push into the middle and secure the middle of the map, you do get those mineral bases, but it's obviously the gas at the back, like the center of a Tootsie Pop. I know Americans say, I don't actually know what that means, but it's something I can roll out here, you know, Christmas Cup.
Okay, and we've seen this map before, so you guys should get the hang of it. If you haven't, well, I guess you'll be along for the ride. But yeah, let's get into it, Kix.
Yep, let's go with game number 1 of our grand finals of the STPL Christmas Cup number 1. Let's get started. Okay, starting us off here in the top right-hand position, we do have the Orange Terran fighting for Soul Gaming and himself here. He wants that first place. It's going to be Scan, our Terran.
Oh, they're asking where each other lives to see what the latency is. But either way... That's like, I'm a receipt. What? Oh, that's Yom Sujom. Sorry, my vocabulary sucks. Anyway, oh no. Oh, he's asking who he is. Oh, okay. His name is one character away from meaning receipt. So they're just like introducing each other, saying, "Hey, nice to meet you. Who are you? Are you this guy? Yeah, I'm this guy." It's like, "Oh, sick. Thank you." He's just introducing himself as an ex-Samsung player. And now that they have exchanged pleasantries at the start of the game, it's time to kind of, I guess, introduce our players. It's YSC, and on the other side of the map is Scan. And they are here to do ultimate battle for our enjoyment in the grand finals. This is so sick. TVP, and I think we're going to see kind of what the semifinals look like from Scan. YSC is maybe not as much of an aggressive, creative player. Oh yeah, Hero. Scan's just not figured it out. Anyway. Okay, so it's not as Huro, or YSC, is not as much of a cheesy, aggressive player, but he is willing to play aggressively. So I'm excited to see what that looks like on this map, because Holy World's really weird, and neither player is scouted yet.
Yep, I mean, neither player's scouting, they're playing... you know what? Not scouting here is actually quite dangerous, but Scan, luckily for YSC, is going to be going for a wall in here, so he's going to be perfectly defended against any form of Zealot aggression. This is actually Zealot tight, if I remember correctly. There is even markings on the ground to make that a little bit easier. Does take one of his SCVs off the barracks so he can go for a scout now, but YSC is still looking pretty fine. Like, he's not doing anything too crazy. He's actually going to add a pylon above his ramp, maybe trying to hide that away from Scan, but the core's going up, the gas is mining, there's no Zealot, so things are looking very standard for him.
Yep, everything does look pretty standard here. I don't think that there's too much to worry about. Early on, both players seem to be playing pretty defensively, so let's see what happens as soon as we get the cyber core completed. What is the direction we want to go? Well, I guess we're not going to find out for a little bit here, but on the other side, it is nice to see that... Oh, there's a pause there.
Yeah.
It is nice to see that we haven't done anything crazy like a 12 Nexus or 14 CC, anything super aggressive. And maybe that'll come in time with our best of 5, but starting things out that way is always super risky.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like YSC is going to hide a Citadel up here now. That is dangerously close to the ramp, so I'm not really sure if this is going to work out too well. Scan is going to scout last, so he is not going to know that this DT pressure is coming for a while now. Scan is quite privy to DT aggression, obviously. He played in America for a while. There was a lot of cheesy people trying to take him down when he was living in America, and also recently in the STPL a lot of foreign players have been going DT against him, and you know what? He's not impervious to it. He's lost games to DTs. Obviously this game he's not going for a quick expansion or anything, and he does have that wall available, but with this this barracks floating away, things aren't going to be as easy for him moving forward. Now, can this Dragoon block this SCV for long enough? Let's have a look at Scan's vision, see exactly what he's going to see.
My gosh.
Oh my god, it's actually far enough back. He doesn't see the pylon.
Yeah, he did not see that high ground pylon for the DT tech or the Templar archives. Wow. Wow. I mean, as an SCV, right, you got to go into the main. And I think that's perfectly designed by YSC to say, well, if you're going to go into the main, you will not scout me up here. That means the DTs will be coming very, very quickly. So we'll see how quickly detection gets up from Scan to counter that.
Yeah, now, interesting enough, YSC is actually going to build his Templar archives closer to the ramp. It's going to be a while before Scan does manage to scout that. He is sending a Vulture around. His SCV didn't really see too much. Didn't see if there was a Nexus coming up, but he did see a probe leaving to build one around 4 minutes. So things looking pretty good. Scan does see this Nexus coming in. And more importantly, he sees the Templar archives. This was the big mistake by YSC to put that there. And blocking the ramp actually helped Scan go and really secure that scout in. Now, we're going to see an Engineering Bay come up immediately. Should see an Academy behind this as well. Single Dragoon pressure on the bunker. Not really going to do too much at the beginning of the game.
Yeah, you are correct. Next 2 Dragoons coming out. This should look pretty standard. Scan's in a great spot to be able to deal with this. He does need to send some extra SCVs up there. Oh, perfectly timed. Love it. And this time, as long as his tank doesn't glitch out, he should be okay. But one thing that I guess YSC should notice is, wait a second, where's that siege mode? And the CT's on their way as well.
Yeah, he knows that the siege mode is going to be a little bit delayed because he did see a Vulture first. That does delay your siege mode by a little bit. Obviously, he does have the ability to go into that. Should have just about finished unless he got into mines. And here comes the missile turret.
Yeah, missile turret right at the front. I love it. Punishment. Punish the Protoss player going DTs. Obviously, DTs are very polarizing. You get them in, you win the game, or you don't.
Oh my god.
But he comes up just at the last second. No way, and he body blocks with the SCV, but the DT survives with 1 HP. Oh my god.
The DT's going to be able to get into the main.
No, he's not moving it. He's not moving it. He's hiding it instead of It's it. Oh, is that really out of range of this turret? If he tries to go into the main, he goes within range of the missile turret, and so he's gonna wait for the tank to go out front.
Yeah.
And now the moment to strike.
Yeah. But at this point, there's a turret in the main. There's going to be a tank here as well. So this DT, already bruised, is going to go down. Good defense by Scan. YSC with the clever moves there, unmanaging to do that now. Luckily for YSC, this wasn't a mega all-in like we do see sometimes. This was an expansion with DTs, so he is going to be able to get his economy going. He's still relatively fine with just losing one DT. I mean, it's not too much of a big deal. Obviously, he did force out a couple of turrets, did force out a lot of lost minerals mining on that bunker, as well as the minerals repairing. So things are looking quite even on both sides again.
Wow. Okay, yeah, you are correct. We've kind of reached an equilibrium in our game, but it's not going to last that way for long, because we should be seeing DT drop come in. And that's how we start mixing things up again.
Yeah.
That's like round 2. But one thing that all this tech is going to do is it's going to delay YSC's third base by quite a bit. And as Protoss, if you have any point in the game where you start to kind of fall behind your expos, it really cascades, and then the Terran player gets one up on you, and they can just macro and defend and turtle forever.
Is Scan going to see this with an engineering bay? Yes, he is. This man... His vision is insane. Like, he knows exactly where to place his buildings, exactly where to place his units, and here we go, the DT's moving into the main. They're going to try and dive bomb the turret, but unfortunately for him, that's not going to work. He drops down. Gonna be annoying for a while, obviously. Wow, this... Wait, this is bugged for me. I can see one of the DTs, but not the other one. There we go. Gonna pick up after killing the depot. Obviously, there's no mobile anti-air at the moment, and the more scans that Scan uses here, he's not scanning the tech, he's not scanning the bases, and this the shuttle's just going to be able to fly around for a long while.
Yeah, I don't know if there's going to be anything to deal with this for a while. I think the biggest problem is that, you know, obviously there's no anti-air, but there's no mobile detection. So he's got to either scan to try to kill these, at which point you pick them up in the shuttle, or you start putting more turret coverage, bigger turret spread out there. I like what Scan is doing, though. He's fronting, right? He'll go aggressive and then try to bait out the scan. Oh, wait, the tanks didn't fire. What?
They were on stop, I think. They weren't on hold position. They were facing the wrong way, didn't want to turn, they were getting lazy. I mean, that is a big win for YSC. I mean, back at home, he's going into a Stargate behind this, so, I mean, Noob's carriers didn't work, so YSC is going to go for an Arbiter this time. But this DT's still alive in the shuttle, it's still flying around, still being annoying. And there's very little. I mean, there is Goliath out now finally, so this shuttle isn't going to be along for the world for much longer. But there is another DT at the top left. Oh my god.
He's going to moving shot the shuttle down too, and he kills the DTs inside. Actually, there is one DT in the upper right-hand corner that's we're going to save it for a rainy day. But anyway, so we've dealt with a weird tech threat. Now it's going to come down to straight up macro. But this is an only Dragoon army against mass siege tanks. So I think we all know how that goes, Kicks.
Yeah, he needs to be careful. I think if anything, he knows that he can't push in now. He saw where all the units were. He saw how many siege tanks they were. And I think he's just going to be kind of waiting for Scan to try and push out. Now, Scan is not adverse to just sitting on his two bases, waiting for 2-1. I mean, he's going into a starport now. He, of course, does have his armory. Finally, that's nearly finished with +1. So it's going to be a while before Scan really wants to push out. Now, he does have a little bit of a timing window. Losing the DTs is a massive deal. When you're putting a lot of time and effort into getting that tech up, you don't have as many gateways, you don't have as many gateway units. But YSC, despite, or in spite of all that, has 6 gateways, he has Arbiter tech on the way, and he has a pretty big army, so YSC's macro back home has been absolutely impeccable.
Yeah, YSC is really killing it. He's doing a very strong job, because when you're on 2 bases, right? So you have to have perfect macro, because you're supposed to have more bases by that. Look at this, the siege tanks run forward, and they siege up right within range of the Dragoons. but there is a pretty deep siege tank line here, and several shots are landing. The mines are going to prevent the Dragoons from pushing any farther forward.
Yeah.
But that was actually not that bad a trade for a purely Dragoon army.
Yeah, that was a great trade. Finally, we start to see those scans that were delayed on those third bases now. I mean, he only actually managed to scan this one, because this is the gas base. This is actually defended by these minerals, but obviously it's quite open as well. But YSC with the good trade cuts the tank count of Scan, gonna make it a lot harder to take a third gas, gonna make it a lot harder to move out on the map, and here we go, looks like we're gonna go for a Bulldog. Zealots on top, oh my god, the mine drag, getting a lot of vultures there.
That's pretty big. So now the buffer between these tanks and anything else coming in is just not as big. I would have liked to see YSC move the DT in at the same time, but you want to combo that because it's kind of being lost and forgotten. It's on the island of forgotten DT toys.
Yeah, now one thing that I've kind of neglected to mention, obviously he forced out a lot of scans earlier on the DTs. He has had a chance to build up his scan energy. But I mean, he only actually has 4 scans right now. There's an Arbiter on the way. Vulture's trying to move around the edge of the map now. But they're not going to be able to find any damage. There's Dragoons in defense for YSC already. Going into his second Arbiter. I didn't see what Arbiter tech he's gone for, but I imagine it's going to be Stasis again. Recall obviously going to be very powerful on this map. But definitely a little bit more conservative to go for Stasis. And it looks like that's what he's going for, so...
My bigger thing is, so he's taking the upper left-hand base. It's a mineral only in the corner. I don't know about that. You're definitely going to need to expand further abroad. In fact, a lot of times you'll see Protoss players do kind of like what Zerg players do. And that's take another main on another corner, just so that they can start building up another base infrastructure with production facilities, and then like pylon wall off the ramp or something like that so vultures don't get in. But he's just kind of compacting all of his forces in the upper left-hand corner, and that means that when Scan thinks about pushing, he's only got one direction to go.
Yeah, and obviously YSC will only have one direction to come out as well. We saw it in the previous game with nOOB on Hitchhiker, where unfortunately nOOB, well, it wasn't Hitchhiker, it was Whiteout, where nOOB unfortunately only had one set of gateways, and when the unit started camping his ramp, there was nothing he could do. Now, these Arbiters are going to be a lot quicker than we saw from nOOB's carriers and his Arbiters in that Whiteout game. So, things looking a lot better for YSC. He is up to 8 gateways now. He is mining very shortly on 3 bases, transferring his probes at pretty much the perfect time. Just a little bit mistimed there. Some of his probes going to be long distance mining. That's a little bit unfortunate. But still no third base from Scan.
Yeah, no third base from Scan, and that also means that you know, he's going to start to mine out in the main here. So we gotta move sometime or another. He's going to try to maybe expand to the upper right, but he hasn't actually built a command center, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to expand up there as well because of the DT.
Yeah, so he's going to expand to the 6 o'clock, or I guess, what is that? Or
3 o'clock.
No, he already has 3 o'clock kicks. It's the natural expansion.
Okay, well, Scan's going up to 2 attack. He doesn't actually have a second armor. He can't really afford it on the 2 gases. And he's just slowly creeping his way down. If he can grab hold, it looks like he's actually going to go for the mineral-only side. This isn't necessarily a bad idea. He has a lot of mines out in front. As I mentioned in a previous cast for the Christmas Cup, the middle is incredibly open. You can see just how much space there is on the mini-map. So it makes it hard for Scan to push forward. So he's just going to kind of hug the edge and see if he can expand around. Oh my god, EMP. I just missed the EMP on the Arbiter. Oh, that was such a good EMP as well.
That's really the only thing that matters right here. It's like, well, can you do the thing that your thing does? It's like, well, I think not. So now all that tech doesn't mean anything. But he is building 10 Zealots at a time, Kicks.
That's
a quite a large number. Yes.
But once again, Rapid, I mean, he is still only on 1 gateway farm, so it's 10 Zealots out of 1 base. And that could hurt him in the long run. I mean, Scan is building up a big army. He's going to be going into +3 attack immediately. 2-1, unfortunately. Scan's lucky numbers not going to be coming in anytime soon. But this Observer's going to go down. The vessel's still gaining more energy. Actually going to swap it out for another one with full energy. This is what I forget to do so often, and then my main gets recalled. But you can just see the recall defense by Scan is just impeccable.
A lot of times you'd see players build a turret ring around their base, but against the Arbiters, especially if they're hallucinated or something like that, that's not the best defense. The best defense is a minefield they recall, and that doesn't just kill the Arbiter, it kills a billion units with mines underneath. As long as the mines don't blow the other mines up and deal 0 damage.
Oh, recall coming in behind. Oh my god, the EMP! Does he get the EMP? The Arbiter's actually going to be running away. Vessels.
Yeah!
Close, but it looks like you're getting away.
Kicks help me. Yeah, that EMP would have stopped. He's actually going to get another EMP. And boom goes the dynamite. There we go. GG for that Arbiter.
Yeah.
Maybe he can delay this command center by killing the SCB with the Arbiter shot.
Even then, it's going to be hard. He can't get too close to the turret now. With 2 Arbiters, both of them being EMP'd, things have not gone YSC's way this game so far. YSC now going to look to expanding down into the bottom left. He does have this extra gas base fully mining now, although he's not mining from the gas just yet, so that's a little bit of a mistake by him, possibly by design. And there we go, some mines actually going down on the Protoss units. We're zooming out a little bit because we're going to have a big engagement in the middle of the map. Some of the Dragoons not firing due to the neutral disruption web, but YSC has so many units, and Storm coming in as well.
Wow, that Storm, so good, but he's got to actually lose his High Templar, so they're not going to regenerate that energy. And look at this big mech ball, +2, actually going for +3 vehicle weapons, not getting any armor at all, just to accelerate the way up the upgrade tree. You could really see that extra damage coming through in a big, big way, Kicks.
How does Scan do this every time? We see Protoss pushing into him when the Protoss should have an advantage. Scan holds, he has like 1 million tanks left over, and then he just goes for the push. And could he make it happen again? Could he get another win off the basis of 1 gateway farm? It looks like it could be a possibility, and another EMP hitting another Arbiter as well.
He's been on point with these EMPs. Every single Arbiter, I think we've
that's a
seen
big storm.
Stasis Kicks. Yeah, these storms are starting to come through, but he's even dematrixing. Anyway, these storms are good, but not good enough. GG, YSC taps out, and that's going to be Scan going up 1-0 in the grand finals of the Christmas Cup.
Yeah, that's just... I mean, this is just kind of insane to have games of this caliber in the STPL Christmas Cup on Holy World SE as well. That was an awesome game. Unfortunately, YSC fell for the same trap that nOOB did. Thought he could beat Scan's defense. And that's not something you can do. You can play aggressive as you want, but it's like playing rock, paper, scissors when you can only play scissors and your opponent is stuck on rock forever. So, you know, it's just not going to work. You need to find some other way of beating Scan. And just hiding all your bases in one corner, that's not going to do it.
Well, neither is this weird DT stuff.
Yeah.
Honestly, I get it, right? Because that can definitely throw Scan off, and maybe you get in a weird spot and you can deal a ton of damage. But I think you need to either beat Scan super early or super late, because his mid game is insane. That push he does kills every Protoss every time he does it. It's so consistent. So really, really good job there by Scan. He's already in at least 2nd place, and starting out with a game 1 win might open him up for something crazy if he does want to play unorthodox, which guaranteed nobody would expect.
Yeah, now one thing we are going to see this time is we are going to be going into Whiteout for game number 2. Now, we saw nOOB didn't fare very well on Whiteout, unfortunately, but can YSC fare a little bit better? Just to show off the map in case you haven't seen it, it's one of the new maps for the Afrika TV Star League Season 7 3-player map. There are line of sight blockers in those weird sort of white patchy forests with all the trees. They make units practically blind when they're inside of it. It's not as low as a unit being blinded by a medic, but it's still pretty blind. It makes it very difficult, a very scary place to walk through. And there is that middle of the map which is kind of choked up, which works pretty well for Terran against Protoss. We saw Scan abuse that in game number 2 of his semi-finals there against nOOB. But you know what, we're here once again. Scan is going to be up against YSC. And it's going to be an exciting game as we load up the replay, the game number 2 of the grand finals of the STPL Christmas Cup. Let's get started. Okay, and speaking of getting us started, down here in the 6 o'clock position, we do have our orange Protoss player fighting for Soul. It's going to be nOOB.
And his opponent in the Malachite is Scan, of course, playing Terran in the upper right-hand corner. Very, very impressive defense early on against that DT rush and then drop, follow up. And then just solid macro to close things out. Really sick play. Even skipping armor upgrades. I don't know what the logic is behind that. Obviously, you get your attack upgrades faster with it, but I don't see any Terran players do it. So I'm guessing he just wanted the attack upgrades as quickly as possible for that push specifically.
It's not only just the push, but he wanted to make sure that whatever YSC threw at him, he had the damage to deal with. Because while armor is of course very, very good, and you usually go 2-1, he was kind of stuck on 2 gas for a very long time. Did take a long time to get his third base, and it was a mineral only. So rather than use the extra gas for that +1 vehicle plating upgrade, he did choose to pump it into additional factory units, and just the sheer number of tanks that Scan managed to muster in that game proved that, you know what, it worked for him.
Yeah, you might say that the muster helped him catch up.
Yeah. You could say that.
I did. Anyway, I think that eventually we're going to have to see YSC try to play a straight-up game in this best of 5. If he wants to just go 1, 2, 3 and try rushes each time, then, you know, go for it. But I would say that depending on the map, you know, obviously things are going to change quite a bit. And find out some map that could have some weird stuff happen with all the line of sight blockers. Makes it a lot easier to proxy buildings in weird places that don't get scouted.
Yep.
I want to see Proxy Reaver one of these games. I think that's really underestimated how powerful that can be, but obviously it is pretty all-in.
It is. It's still something that if it can work, it will do a good job now. I do love watching Scan play, and as much as I'd enjoy seeing Scan do really well in this game, I'd really like to relish these finals and get a game 5, so...
Did you say that just because I had already said ketchup and mustard?
Yeah, I was waiting a while to try and fit it in.
So bad.
I know.
Get me out of here.
This is why they pay you the big bucks to make all the puns. I'm just like the
Yeah.
I'm just the guy here, like trying to put up with them and then trying to bounce back, but it doesn't really work.
Yeah, well, these strategies from our players may or may not work.
Ooh. I can't think of any more sources. Damn.
You mean condiments, Kicks?
Yeah, condiments.
There we go. Alright, I'm glad that we've really just run this metaphor into the ground.
Wait, this probe is stuck behind the tree. This is,
What? I've never seen that before. Yeah, I think the probe actually might die. Whoa! Barely avoids the next 2 shots from these Marines. So probe escapes alive despite getting stuck in the Christmas tree.
That's a different tree.
Yeah, well, yeah. The other probe on the other side of the map got stuck in the Christmas tree too, at the front of the base when he was trying to get up the ramp. Yeah, so there are multiple probes stuck in trees. That guy is just there for so he can clump Corsairs later on. I'm guessing he thought that he could pass through.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible in some trees, but some doodads do have hitboxes, so you can't do that now. YSC is hiding his probe outside of the Terran Natural at the moment, so we're going to see what's going on. There is a command center coming up in the middle on the top of the ramp, so we are going to see a standard opening yet again from Scan, although he is going to go into mines this time rather than siege, so we're going to rely on those mines to keep him alive. Could use them aggressively as well, but he is only going to have 3 Marines, so not super aggressive positioning there. Huge thank you, Aggie, for the host, 15 viewers. Welcome, guys. You're watching the grand finals of the STPL Christmas Cup, number 1, and we're in the finals between Scan versus YSC, so it's been pretty cool, and it's going to be that Robo Bay, like you predicted.
That's right. And if you're coming from Age's stream, then you know that the gameplay you're going to see here will be about that level. So, of course, two of the best South Korean amateur players that we have in the scene currently. Watching them go head-to-head is a treat for sure. And Scan winning game number 1, very, very impressive and methodical. Game number 2 is going to look not the same way because we don't have that early cheesy rush tech. We're just getting up to 2 bases for both of our players. And Scan is opening very defensively, so still not having that expansion in the natural. He built it on the high ground in his base where it was much safer.
Yeah, now there is the sleigh ready for Rudolph the Blue Scarabed Reindeer, Reaver. Damn, I had one job, but yeah, it's going to be cool to see if this other tech choice. We saw DTs in game 1, didn't do too much damage to Scan. Scan, of course, one of the most well-defended players outside of Flash, realistically. Like, when you look at a lot of the pro-level Terrans, they kind of falter to a lot of cheese early on, but Scan has basically perfected the art of defense. He's read Sun Tzu's Art of War, and he's ready here. He's going to have a dropship coming in. He's going to be able to go for a race behind this as well. And this is just looking perfectly normal for him, and somehow, unlike when I try this kind of build, he takes the, like, few units that he actually has and just wins the game with them. So let's see if he can do it this time. The shuttle obviously going to be coming in from a different angle. It's not going to be scouted this time, so that's going to be the big moment for YSC. And Scan this time doesn't have turrets. He's not prepared. He doesn't even have a Wraith. And there we go. The first Reaver does drop down, attacks one of the Vultures. And a Wraith started immediately, but there's going to be a lot of possible damage.
Yeah, it absolutely is. Just waiting to see. Oh, dropped in the Reaver line, or the mineral line. I say it's the Reaver line. He does target the Sea Tank instead. Yeah, so let's see if we can get the second Scarab off. Ooh, targets the Marines instead, so the Sea Tank's still alive. He actually is able to kill the Dragoon, and
he gets
doesn't
the tank.
save the tank. Yeah, that's a big one. So let's see if this Reaver can get a good Scarab hit off. Whoa, oh, there it goes. Does actually explode. Now, is there anything that can deal with this Reaver? I don't think so.
Trouble is, back at home, YSC doesn't have that many units. The Sirens are coming to take this Reaver away. He is wanted for criminal damage against SCVs, but here we go, Scan pulling his SCVs once again. Not going to take too much damage. Good work by him, but the drop going to be coming in. But you can see Scan is so busy defending, he's not actually unloading the Vultures. This is going to give YSC the chance to move his Dragoons back into his base.
But he's not.
Yeah.
Okay, so just there he's got a couple, but still this is going to be a lot of probe kills.
Yeah, the shuttle did go down, the Reaver went down as well. There was a little bit of lost mining time, but pull on the probes by YSC, gonna save a lot more of them than what we saw nOOB be able to do. There has been 3 dead probes from at least this Vulture. But, I mean, I'd say that works out better for Scan in the long run. He didn't lose a huge amount of tech or anything, and he kept his dropship alive, and that's one thing that YSC was unable to do.
Yeah, and for some additional kind of thought on that, the Reaver tech is what you're going for. You have to get a special building to build it, but you only have one robotics facility, so you can only build either a shuttle or a Reaver at a time. So when you invest all of this tech, you can only get one thing at a time. And you have to choose between attacking units in the shuttle. So that means the macro is really going to be hit. The tech choice is really limited. And for Scan, obviously as Terran, you build production facilities for each of your units. So he's going to start to add on more and more. Another factory coming up here. He's spinning an upgrade +1. And he can still build out of the starport if he needs to. But really, I think a lot of his effort now is just getting like super solid. I'm not sure why he has 6 SCVs idle in his natural, though.
Oh, that's actually a pretty big deal. That was a mistake from earlier. Hasn't quite noticed it. There's obviously a lot going on for Scan right now, trying to move all of his units to the right places. And the thing is, YSC has actually got a very strong army against the Terran force that has no mines, has no siege mode. Siege mode only just now coming in. Oh, the mine nearly goes down, but things are looking pretty good for YSC here. He takes down the first tank. Can he get the second one as well? The Dragoons are falling back, and the third tank could go down as well. And it looks like those idle SCVs actually coming in handy now as they move to block off the tanks. But there's only 2 tanks left alive. 2 Zealots actually doing so much damage to this. The SCVs at the front going down as well, and it looks like YSC maybe has broken Scan, the first player to have done so in the STPL Christmas Cup, and it looks like Scan is going to drop a game.
Damn, really, really well played here. Obviously, he's not going to just totally tap out instantly, and he could save this natural with a siege tank on the high ground, but this is just critical damage. So strong.
Oh my god.
He does have a Goliath out here. How good's the mischance? It's pretty good, but not good enough.
Yeah, not good enough there. Looks like the Dragoon's going to take down this Goliath even on the high ground. The SCV's killing 2 Dragoons, so that's the kind of move he needs to make. But the Dragoon's focusing down that Goliath. There is a tank on the high ground. Isn't going to have that high ground mischance. One of the Dragoons does get bugged out. One of the other ones does get in. He does save that tank, and he is going to get the other Dragoon. And obviously this was the fair amount of YSC's army, but behind this, YSC has been able to get his Nexus up at his third base. He's been able to add an additional gateway. He's not producing any more tech, but he is going for +1, and things are looking pretty good on his side of the map.
Spider-Mine does hit one of the Dragoons, but it's going to be all that Scan can do to hold on here against round 2. So many gateways pumping here. I think it's 4, 5? Yeah, 4 gateways, and ooh, this is scary. Obviously, siege tanks are going to help.
Yeah.
But I mean, Scan was in the middle of building another command center, and that's going to be 400 minerals not spent on things that will help him hang on here.
Yeah, and the Vulture not even able to drop all of its might. Well, it does finally eventually do that, but Scan trying to hold on, trying to block, but the Zealot running through, taking out the turret almost. And here we go, looks like it's going to be SCVs versus Dragoons once again. Another tank does go down, this one tank on the high ground. Not enough to defend him. His tank count has been reset so much that YSC feels confident enough to get that 4th Nexus. 1 Nexus for as many gateways. And I mean, YSC isn't going to be able to break forward, but the important thing is Scan is going to be unable to push forward at any point in the next 5 minutes. I mean, he's got a double armory, but he can't use them.
The upside is that if he needs to produce more SCVs, he can actually do that off of 3 bases instead, and when he is able to push out, he can drop the command center instantly. But the problem is, I don't think that YSC is going to give him that opportunity, because he's sending out another 4 Dragoons and another 4 Zealots in the shuttle to bulldog through the tanks.
Yeah, now YSC pushing forward yet again. The 4th base going to be finishing up fairly soon. YSC finally adding on some more gateways now. One thing that worries me a little bit, obviously the situation in the game is much different, is YSC's not going for another main at the moment. He has got the pylon at the top of the ramp though, and I think we're going to see him build a lot more gateways over there this time. And here we go, the Bulldog on the high ground tank. There's not many mines down the bottom. He pushes forward with the Dragoons, a nice block with the SCVs. Going to make it a little bit harder, but Scan's tanks a little bit further forward than maybe they want to be, but Zealot's coming in from behind here. Could be enough to break through, but the SCV block is absolutely fantastic.
Wow.
And it looks like Scan's gonna hold.
How did Scan do that? Oh my gosh. Now, obviously, it doesn't matter that YSC is throwing these units away because he has an insano in the Membrano economy behind this. He is just firing on all cylinders, and Scan is kind of hobbling on one leg at this point.
Yeah.
But here comes the command center. We're going to be able to float it out there. You should actually cancel this SCV and get it on over, because I think he can actually, now with that defense, start to think about taking this 3rd.
Yeah, now, YSC's unit count has been cut considerably. He has got up to 9 no wait, that's not 9 gateways, it's 8 gateways. So he's going to be able to start to rebuild his units. He's actually going into Storm again. YSC, obviously, one thing that we have pointed out before, but YSC was a practice partner on Samsung Khan. And Khan Protosses were known for their PvT, so if there's one man that can take down Scan in this tournament, it's gonna be YSC, using Storm, a very, very big staple of those Khan Protoss players as well. And I mean, Scan has come back from worse situations than this. He's gonna try and take his 3rd base, but he is up against a lot of Dragoons, which have already got +1 attack.
Now, as long as he sieges, he'll be okay. Is he going to siege in time? Yeah, okay. He actually sieges prematurely with 1 tank way too far back, but oh, yeah, he's going to move that forward because he needs every single tank exactly where it needs to be at the front lines here. Is there a good spread of Dragoons so he can mitigate the splash damage from tank fire, but Storm is going to be the absolute game changer here.
Yeah.
YSC brings 4 High Templar with those across the map.
Yeah, and where Scan has been forced to rebuild his tanks more than anything else. He doesn't have the mindset on the map to try and stop moves like this. He does not know they're coming through the forest. And this is going to be very, very dangerous. It could spell the end of Scan in this game. You can see Scan is actually going to move one of his tanks forward a bit to spread it out. But here we go. It looks like we're going to have YSC pushing in. Does have Storm ready. Storm's a big clump of those tanks at the front. Dragoons on both sides getting on top of the tanks. The Vultures not able to take down the Zealots as much. A Storm on the back tanks as well. But somehow it looks like Scan is going to hold yet again.
But how? It's like that Ryan Reynolds gif, like,
maybe not.
I don't think he can actually hold through this.
Yeah.
I think this is finally too much damage. He actually does not have any more tanks. He's got, okay, he's got 2. There we go. I see him coming in from the top. So he'll hold on for a second, but I mean, there's another 12 Zealots coming across the field, or
and
10.
This is going to be the death parade here for Scan. Unfortunately, he's not got the production to be able to build the Vultures. I mean, there is a D-Matrix. That's going to keep the tank alive, but not for long. A tank going down in the 3rd base. YSC up to 5 bases mining this time. All of the SUVs going down at this 3rd base. Nothing Scan can do. And while he's moving back, his wall has been moved. He has absolutely nothing back here to defend against these units.
Yeah, I mean, the Vultures popping will actually help deal with the Zealots really well, but he's just being beaten into a corner here. He doesn't have a 3rd base. He's going to lose the command center here. I think that really spells disaster.
Yeah, no, he's going to try and hold on with everything he's got, but there's now about 10 or 11 gateways I can see from the minimap. GG! And YSC takes out Scan to tie up the series 1-1.
Yeah, 1-1. So we actually have essentially a best of 3 for our $200 prize pool. Really well played there by YSC. He got a little tiny advantage and then really pounded it home. Was rallying units across the map in a never-ending deluge. Although I guess that's going downward. But anyway,
yeah,
really good play there. I can't wait to see what's going to happen on game number 3. Because each map here is so different than all the others. So you really are going to see very different experiences in each game.
Yeah, so I'm just going to double check the map order. We're going to be heading into El Nino next. That's going to be our 3rd map. I'm just quickly looking at the replay. And while I do this, let's have a quick look at the map as well in the overlay, just so you guys can sort of get a little bit more used to seeing the map, as some of you may not have seen it before. Just making sure that that's all selected. And then we can hop on over and have a look at it as we get ready for game number 3. So, El Nino, a 3-player map, 12, 4, and 8 o'clock position spawns. Kind of has the outsider base layout going on with the kind of outside path around the edge. There is gas on those, but you can obviously take them very easily as mineral onlys as well. The gas is kind of in a weird position in one of them. It's kind of like in the middle. You have to either glitch a probe, float an SC or a command center or something over. But if you can, that's going to be an extra gas, which is going to be a little bit easier to defend. Now we did see YSC go for a lot of shuttles on this map, so kind of cool to see if he's going to do, like, not YSC, nOOB. Let's see if YSC does the same thing. This is obviously going to be game number 3 of the finals. Let's get started, and let's move on to the game. And speaking of getting us started here in the 12 o'clock position, we do have the Malachite Terran. Fighting for Soul, it's Scan.
Yep, and on the other side, his opponent, the ex-Samsung Khan Protoss. This is YSC.
Now, of course, we are tied up 1-1, so we are going into... Okay, wait, did I start without you?
No, I'm here.
This is so weird.
What is?
I guess you're just typing to me. It's not something you've ever done before. I'm confused.
Yes, I'm typing.
This is new and scary. I don't know what that is.
Wait, a friend sent me a message on the internet. Oh my gosh. Don't worry, Kix. It's okay. Just saying hi.
Yeah, cool. I thought something was broken. I thought like maybe my mic wasn't working, and I was like, oh, what's going wrong? But we're good. We're good. It's all good. And
This kills the kicks.
yeah. My mind has just been completely broken this week. I don't know what's wrong. I need to like fix my stuff because we're going to be heading back into Christmas soon, and then after that STPL round 3 will be back for week 7, and then obviously we're going to have the playoffs in the second week of January. So 7th, 9th and 11th, that's going to be the playoff games, semi-final A, semi-final B, and then the grand finals of round 3 will be on Friday, the 11th of January. So kind of crazy.
Yeah, that is actually really impressive, how quickly things are going to come up. Also, we've got new seasons of like other StarCraft theoretically happening soon, so it's going to be pretty non-stop. Maybe we'll squeeze a day in there for Christmas, but if not, well, hey, at least we have the Christmas Cup, right?
Yeah, I mean, the Christmas Cup obviously ending a few days before Christmas, but for all you plucky viewers watching a while ago, I promised that if I made 50 subs, I would sing a meme song, which is Pom Pom Kimochi, and I'm going to announce that I'm going to release that video on Christmas Day in the evening, so you guys have a Christmas present from me. I'm completely terrified of doing it, but I set myself a goal that was too easy to reach. I didn't think I'd ever reach it either, and I surpassed it pretty easily, so you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it in a style that maybe you guys aren't expecting. It should be interesting. I'm looking forward to actually singing it. I've had the lyrics stuck in my head, so that's a bit worrying. But I'm looking forward to being able to sing that for you on Christmas Day.
Wow. Wow, Kix. Okay, I cannot wait. It's my favorite Christmas present. I can't... It's just going to be the best. Better than these games? Maybe not, but good nonetheless. So let's talk about these games just a little bit. We didn't have anything like a Gasless Expo or anything crazy like that from Scan. He's still working off one basis. The same thing for YSC, whose spinning range just now started. He does, of course, have that one gateway, but no like aggressive pressure or anything like that. We're gonna see at least probably a 2-base opener, but maybe not more behind that. Kills the probe. Let's see if there's a second factory here. Got 3 on gas.
And Robo again. So YSC, obviously as Reaver did a pretty decent job last game, wants to go for it again. But Scan is coming back in for that scout. Gonna see these Zealot blocking the ramp. And this Dragoon's gonna come back and clear this up. Oop.
Yeah, okay. Well, at least the Dragoon gets in there for one more. To help take out that scout. It's always weird when the Terran's worker scouts longer than the Protoss's worker, but either way, neither player is going to be too in the dark about what's happening. Both of them have seen and understand the standard builds. And it is a starport coming up, so I'm not going to see anything like a 2-fact.
Yep, that's kind of interesting from Scan. Obviously, he has been going for starport every game, but he hasn't ever done it off of one base. He's always gone for that one factory expand. But this time, it looks like he wants to go into a quicker dropship. Is going into mines again, so kind of doing this once again. Kind of normal from Scan, I guess. Obviously, it's going to give him access to a quicker dropship, but more importantly, it's going to give him access to a quicker Wraith as well. And that's maybe what he's going for.
Yes, I think the biggest thing is going to be defending against potential drop play. I think it's just such a good choice against YSC, who's always tried to mix it up early on. And it's going to be Reaver drop coming through once again. Shuttle done, Reaver about a quarter on the way.
Yep, now it looks like we are going to have a defensive FD push coming out here by Scan. Obviously, it's a little bit different to what you normally see because we do have that starport, but Scan is going to be able to go for a command center behind this. He's not going super all in or anything crazy, but you can see a major difference. I mean, Scan is actually going for a dropship first, once again. There is going to be a Reaver coming in behind this, as Zealot has popped out, gone into the shuttle as well, so the important moment for Scan here is moving this Vulture in. He's going to go into the natural, see that the Nexus has only just started, and that is going to be a massive tip-off that there is some really weird shenanigans coming his way.
Yeah, and then he'll have to like maybe go through a little bit of a mental process to figure that out, but as soon as he gets across the map and scouts this out, yeah, you're right, it's going to be very questionable moment for sure.
Yeah, now
Oh, did you
YSC
see
is
that?
going to move forward and not actually see the command center, so that's a massive, massive deal. There is a dropship. He didn't actually go into a Wraith, so he doesn't know it's Reaver. The Wraith finally coming up, but this Reaver could do a lot of damage. Oh, the mine!
Oh, Vine Drag!
Oh, the mine hitting the Reaver is such a huge amount of damage. The Reaver actually forced to retreat for the time being, and that's going to give Scan the chance to get the Wraith, get his turrets as well if he does so need them, and go for this counter drop of his own.
I mean, it's always weird when you see that one drop unit facing off against another drop unit, but this time, yeah, Scan is going to have much better success here. Gets in for one probe and gets right back out, saves both vultures. Saves both vultures. Saves both vultures. Okay.
Okay,
both vultures.
Does save it in the end, but that was a little bit hairy for a second. Almost lost his dropship to do that. That unfortunate vulture to get left behind enemy territory, or whatever the film's called. Like behind enemy lines, I think it is. But either way, we're going to have that Reaver back here to defend against any drops, also regen its shields. Doesn't want to push too far forward. The Nexus is finally up here for YSC, and Scan's command center is still not done.
No, it's not. It was very, very late. And so, you know, I hope that he's able to kind of slingshot here and maybe get a faster third there in the future. But I mean, he's got to do this one step at a time. Observer coming in. We'll see if maybe he can take that out. Did he ever get the Wraith? Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
okay,
he did.
That's floating over the natural.
Yeah, now the Wraith obviously going to give him a lot more power in this defense. Scan has shown he's got pretty good Wraith usage in TVP. Now, Wraiths aren't a common unit in TVP. You don't really see them too often, other than on Sparkle or to go to defend against the shuttles. Now, looks like the Vulture's actually getting dropped behind the mineral line. Not really going to be able to find too much damage. Do get a couple of probes. The Reaver Scarabs are able to get through, but they bug out quite a lot. There's like a single area where they can go through, but the Dragoon behind the back is enough to kill both of those units. But the dropship survives, so Scan has the option of going for it again.
Yeah, and that's the best thing about saving your units. It might have seemed weird for him to drop, kill one probe, and then run away, but it's about coming back later on to get repeat value off of something. Because like the fact that you can get a drop in there is kind of a victory in and of itself, because you know you have the potential for damage. So if you continue to have that potential, there's always the opportunity. Whereas if you have the potential and then lose it, you can't do anything else in the future.
And you know what? He's going for the Khan style. It's going to be Reaver into Carrier here off of just 2 bases. I mean, he does have his probe behind here. He could glitch that through with a pylon. That's actually quite easy to do. One thing I really hope Elmaster does, who is one of the other StarCraft casters at the moment, he's making like tutorial videos. I really want him to do one about glitching workers through minerals. But,
oh yeah.
I mean,
well, glitching through neutral buildings too is also really helpful.
Yeah, that's a lot harder
not
to
only
do
just
though.
workers, but you can glitch vultures through by dropping spider mines. That was actually way harder to do.
Yeah.
But it's still something, an advanced tech that pros do actually use. So exciting.
Fleet.
Stork retire or go to the military? No, but yes. There's the fleet beacon.
Yep, there's the fleet beacon. Double Stargate. Scan, though, has been known to get incredible scans. Last time he went against carriers, it was against nOOB. nOOB was unable to make this carrier style work, but YSC trained with the commander.
Nailed it! Look at that. First, as soon as his scanner's done, instantly scans the carriers coming. What a god. Damn.
Yep. Adding on 3 factories behind this does go up to 5. Does have an armory already, getting +1 attack, going into a second armory. Should see that science facility coming up soon as well in order to get that 2-1 going. One of the big things Terrans really need against carrier play is just upgraded Goliaths. Obviously, the carrier upgrades take a long time to get. He is going for +1 attack, but it's going to be a long way off. He doesn't have a 3rd base as of yet, and Scan is already preparing for this. He's got mines behind to try and block the gas base, and YSC is actually going to opt to take the minerals. Now, this is mainly just because the only thing he's going to be trying to build is interceptors for a while, so this is an important base for him to be able to take.
I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting. Either this Wraith stops the 6 drop, and that's one way, or we just start to see YSC slowly expand across the map. For Scan, though, is he actually even thinking about another base?
Yep,
I don't think
he has his
so.
command center at the 3rd base.
Oh, he does. Okay, never mind. I do think so. That's what I meant to say. Anyway, he is gonna get this mineral only up. I always find it weird when they don't like just put your drone or your SCVs in a dropship and just float it to the other side so you can get the gas mining.
Yeah, but then it makes it a lot harder to defend. Obviously, YSC is known.
Oh, you get the Wraith.
Against 2 shuttles, though, that's a little bit dangerous, and you can see it's actually 3 shuttles coming in from YSC now. He is going for a mass carpet bomb on top of this base. The Reaver is back for round 2. He didn't get much damage done last time. Can he do it this time? Getting a big first Scarab off, actually. Going to be able to clear up all the Marines, and this 3rd base is going to go down. Scan cancels his...
Oh my god.
Cancels his scanner and cancels his bunker, and he gets out of there.
Wow. Okay, gotta lay some mines around the Reaver. Zealots, there's enough to protect it. Some of the Zealots are going down, but how do you kill these Zealots? They're such sick linebackers. Scarabs 1, 2, 3, getting tons of kills here. This is such a crazy attack. Finally, enough siege tanks coming forward.
Oh, the mine!
The Reaver, the mine! Blows everything out of the water, and even though 2 shuttles escape, maybe this Wraith chase him down.
Yep, I mean, 2 shuttles, very, very fast. Shuttle speed is done. So they are eventually going to get away. There is a Dragoon here that the Wraith is not going to be able to deal with. It only takes about 6 shots, if I remember rightly, for a Dragoon to kill a Wraith. So very dangerous, doesn't want to lose those. Going to be very, very imperative that he keeps that alive. Now, Scan actually got uncharacteristically supply blocked before, just before all that shuttle drop happened. So he actually had a lot less units than he maybe could have done. And the big thing is, it delayed a lot of his Goliath production. Like, the big attack he wanted to go for to try and counter the fact that these carriers are coming in, he was unable to do it. And once again, YSC just taking 3 shuttles worth of gateway units, gonna throw them into this 3rd base, and gonna force Scan to stay back at home. Oh my god, this Reaver could get a lot of kills this time.
Oh my god, 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 oh my god!
Oh!
Boom goes the dynamite! There we go! And he's even gonna get a bonus one as it runs away. Beautiful drop play here by YSC. He just kills it. There's no 3rd in the near future here.
Oh my god, he's even gonna save his units as well.
Losing the Wraith. Actually does take down one of the shuttles with that Wraith suicide, but will these tanks even be able to hold this position? The Scarab. Oh, Reaver goes down!
Yeah, the Reaver goes down, all the Dragoons go down, but look at where Scan's army is. And look at what's happening with this carrier count. He's up at 4 carriers now. He has his 3rd base completely mining. He still has one of the shuttles alive. Oh, he's actually gone for double shuttle again, so did rebuild another one. And he's going to go back in. And the trouble is, look at the positioning of where these carriers are going to attack. How on earth are Goliaths going to be able to ever get behind there to deal with this? It's just like Outsider. You can't get to the carriers. He's going to have to go for a counter. But nOOB sees it's happening, and there we go. Double Dragoon drop going into the 3rd base again. The carriers are already on the retreat to defend against this push. And there's still a large gateway unit in the middle of the map as well to complement this.
Yeah, now obviously if it funnels in 1 by 1, that's not the way to do it. But yeah, 6 carriers are already... Oh, actually, no, he still only has 4. Man, carriers just will always take longer to build than I think they will. But here we go. The push is here. There's only 4 carriers. There's a decent amount of Goliaths here. But we'll see if these tanks can survive long enough to deal with the Gateway Army underneath. Zealots getting dropped on the siege tanks. Can the Goliaths take them out quickly enough to save the tanks from both the Interceptors and the Zealots? They are dealt with, and so are the carriers. They are pushed away.
They are, and once again, YSC did go pretty heavily into his single set of bases, didn't try and go for a big expansion. There is still a large number of carriers, though. The 6th carrier should be out soon, and that's when we start getting into that critical mass. Scan is unable to get a 3rd gas as well at this point, and that's the big story. He's taking another mineral only, but he needs Goliaths. Goliaths are so gas heavy, and every single tank he loses here, every single Goliath, is going to be so hard to replace. But does it matter? Does Scan have too many units again? This is going to be the moment that decides the game.
Yeah, super low interceptor counts on these 6 carriers, so even though they look scary, they're not actually. They have very low interceptors, if any, and so this push is still incredibly powerful. There's not a shuttle to bulldog on top of these tanks either, and Scan is just moving through into the natural.
He is indeed. The natural goes down, and more importantly, that's going to block the ramp off once again. Scan with amazing pushing ability in his TVP. Now, I remember when I used to watch his stream, he used to complain about Protoss a lot. He used to say, TVP is my worst matchup, but here he is taking down nOOB, looking to take down YSC in another fantastic game. The carrier's going for the counter. He still doesn't actually have that many interceptors on them. He's actually going there with just 2 of the carriers, so gonna keep the main bulk of them back home, but you can see that the Stargates have stopped spinning. The third base is under fire. There is a large number of turrets actually at this third base already, but if he can stop the mining at the third, maybe he can even this out, but he's going to lose all his probes down here in the bottom middle, and this is going to be so hard to recover from. But you can see the carriers going to be going onto the undefended tanks. The Zealots getting on top of them as well. YSC is still in a position where he can make this work, but he needs to be careful. Every single unit here is far too important for him to lose.
Yeah, I like that he split his carriers up so that he could harass the top right base, but he kind of needs those back home to defend here. Looks like, yeah, everything is going to be cleaned up. And did he lose a carrier? No, he actually has not lost a single carrier yet.
Yeah, but the trouble is he's lost a lot of probes, he's lost a lot of mining, and GG! Scan against all odds after taking so much damage, once again pulls through with his 2-on attack, and he manages to take down YSC in game number 3. And I love how that rhymes.
Nice one. Ah, well played there, Kicks. In the end, it was very well played there by Scan. He knew exactly what... Man, as soon as he scanned that carrier tech, he really... I felt like that was kind of the straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah.
But those drops, the pressure that YSC was able to put onto his third base, unreal. I cannot believe Scan stabilized after that. Wow.
It's just crazy.
What a monster. Both players playing incredibly well.
Yep, we're going to be heading into game number 4 of the grand finals of the inaugural STPL Christmas Cup. And you know what? It's going to be on Hitchhiker this time. I have the replay loaded. Let's just bring up the map on stream, just so we can see what's going on. Game 4, obviously, a very important game. If Scan can win this, he will be taking home 40% of the prize pool. But if we can see YSC take this game, they're going to be going into a game number 5. And that's, like, possibly the best Christmas present we can get here today.
For sure. I mean, Game 5's always epic. There's an epic semifinal best of 5 in the, or quarterfinal best of 5 between True Touch and Dandy in the BSL. If you haven't watched that, that's why best of 5s are good. It's just everything. It's so good. And I hope we get another one of those here today, because these are 2 of the best players you could possibly hope to have here in the finals.
Yep, so we can see the Hitchhiker 2-player map, top left, bottom right hand spawns. Very small movement path in the middle of the map, makes it very difficult to push through for Protoss against Terran. But likewise, it makes it hard to get all those big vulture numbers through as well. So we're going to see likely... Okay, there's kind of 2 ways this map can go. It's either going to end very, very quickly, or we're going to see a very, very long macro game. We saw a macro game on here with Soul, with Scan versus nOOB. Could we see a repeat of that this time? nOOB obviously chose to go carriers last time. Scan scanned it immediately, much like he did with YSC last game as well. But the only way we're going to find this out is if we head into game number 4. It's Scan versus YSC in the Christmas Cup. And starting us off here in the top left-hand position, we do have the Malachite Terran fighting for Soul. It's gonna be Scan.
There we go. Oh, man. And his opponent is going to be YSC, our Protoss player in the orange in the bottom right. What a series. So far, we have really stepped it up. I feel like winning that last game as Scan is just a testament to how strong his mid game is. Do not test him. He will he will beat you in the mid game. If you can take him late, a lot of times that is enough to hold on, but sometimes it's not.
Yeah, it's one of those really worrying things here. Now, YSC going to be building his pylon in a fairly normal position, so not going to see any crazy proxy 2-gate shenanigans or anything like that. Obviously, the rush distance on this map very, very small, so could even still see 2 gates going up in the main. But I'm kind of hoping we see another macro game. Macro games on Hitchhiker, they don't look as normal as maybe you'd see on other more modern maps, but they are incredibly fun to watch. And, I mean, just seeing these two players battle out has been an absolute treat so far. And, I mean, with Scan one game away from winning the championship, it's going to be up to YSC here to try and make something happen to bring it back to game number 5.
Yeah, I think he could bring it back to game 5 with a little bit of help from some creativity. Let me put it that way. I do think that in the end, that is one of the best ways to kind of turn around a series. Right when your opponent feels confident with a standard play, you force them to not be able to play that way anymore. And that really kind of upsets a lot of momentum that can be built from big wins. I mean, match point is match point, Kicks.
It is indeed. Now, in this game, we do have YSC taking a little bit of a different approach this time. He's gone Reaver twice in a row. This time he's going to go for a very quick Nexus. Actually going for a Nexus on, I believe that was 13. So, going to rely heavily on the fact that Scan hasn't been too aggressive these previous games. And try and get a little bit of damage done with his probe where he can. But just Scan's micro with his SUVs is just insanity.
I'm waiting. I'm watching. Oh, how good is he? Oh, he's that good. Denying the scout on a wide ramp with only an SCV.
Yep, now, one thing to reiterate from chat, as Dazen said, Dazen, of course, Fujikoda, the leader of Seoul Gaming, the clan, obviously, which both of these players are from. There is a coupon code from Maturino. You can use that in the link that was there by just putting the code in. Press and donate. You don't have to spend anything. It's completely free and it adds an additional $1 to the prize pool, which the top 4 players will be taking home to give them a little bit of a bonus at Christmas. Now, looks like Scan going to be going into a fairly quick factory again. Nothing too crazy with him. He's pulled off SCVs from gas, so he's going to be going for his own fast expansion as well.
Indeed, he will be. Let's keep an eye on the way that this game progresses with the economic opener for YSC, because obviously this means no early game aggression. That's what's been, I think, the most effective against Scan. Obviously, he's still building units that he
oh
can
my god,
use
Scan's going all in.
Oh, he's doing it! No way! I love it! You see the Protoss do this early Nexus expletive? You go kill him! Kill him! Obviously, the Zealot's gonna try to buy in a little bit of time, but the Vulture specifically just cleans that totally up. These SCVs are almost gonna kill everything themselves.
Yeah,
this is actually just a worker rush.
It is. It's really, really good. Looks like we are going to have the first couple of Dragoons coming out. Dragoons don't actually kill SCVs that quickly. There is going to be a bunker up, and I mean, if he kills the one SCV, there's like 10 other SCVs here to get on. So, looks like we are going to have a bit of a probe drill on the ramp, bugging out one of his Dragoons slightly. And the bunker's finished, there's no range. This Nexus is going to go down rapid, and he's pulled more SCVs with this as well. Sending a few back home. Is going into a second Vulture, and things are looking very, very dire for YSC here in game number 4.
Wow. Man, I would never have imagined this game would go this way. This is why you don't go early Nexi! Especially if you're being scouted. Good players will kill you. It's just, it's so, it looks unfair, but it's because you're taking a risk. And I think a lot of...
I was just going to say it's really polarizing.
Yes.
I'll let you finish your point and I can explain what I mean.
Just like the ice caps. They are... And now what are you going to do as YSC, right? Obviously, I think it's actually about time to piece the scene here. A Scan, pick up, head back home, you get 4 SCVs for free, and you save your Marines. So, yeah, I think it's about time there. Obviously, you want to... Yeah, okay, he realizes it's time to peace out. Perfectly timed as well with the range finishing.
You know, it looks like one of the Dragoons moving up the front to try and block this. There is going to be a couple of mines going forward. This one Dragoon is going to be the one lone warrior to defend against this. He's actually sacking more and more Dragoons to try and break through. This is Dragoons he can't really afford to lose. He really should be trying to go for the micro. He was doing the micro yesterday against... he was playing against Rainer, if I remember rightly.
Yeah.
And
he was
had
stutter stepping to kill mines. Oh, he's gonna try to do it!
Oh, doesn't manage it.
Yes, okay. Justice is served. And you're like, but what if he had lag there? It's like, he knows! You can see the connection. Also, they're both Korean, and they don't have that much ping. It's not like... I respect it, right?
Yeah.
But, in the end, your Dragoons are now damaged, and you can't do anything with them.
Now, just to answer a question in chat, Laughs, this is the STPL Christmas Cup. It's a solo tournament, a side event for the main event, which will be coming back after Christmas with the rest of round 3. And it looks like we do finally have Azella out here in the grand finals, pushing forward in game at number 4, but Scan is already ready with the defense. He has his bunker. He's actually got 3 tanks already. And things are still looking very, very, very dire for YSC. He's going to have to try and pull back, but one of the Dragoons going to go down to a Vulture. Things aren't looking too good for him in this game.
Yeah, it's scanning his Assassin Vultures. Yeah, I mean, we still might have more to say about this game, because it's not like Scan will walk across the map and try to kill him.
Yeah.
The game is just going to be slightly slanted in Scan's favor. And I think if we've learned one thing, it is that Scan can leverage that advantage more than it seems possible. He's just so good at that. So not only is he going to be totally great defensively back at home, unless YSC can find a way to flip the tables, maybe with something like a Reaver drop, Fort Bay coming through, then the future does not look bright.
Yeah, but does it look orange?
Oh my god. I don't know. Maybe with its future so bright won't guide his STPL Christmas Cup tonight. I don't know. There's terrible
I just realized
jokes out there.
That wasn't even a that was a pun based on an old advert slogan in the UK, and I just realized no one else is probably going to get that one. But oh well, it's all good. We're going to have Scan with his engineering base scouting out for these shuttles. Looks like the Dragoons just moving forward, keeping Scan honest, forcing him to siege up. There's even tanks on the high ground now as well. Back at home we obviously have that support bay coming in. YSC has managed to secure this base again. Now, one thing I would like to note, YSC didn't lose many probes, so even though he did lose his 400 mineral nexus and did get pushed back a lot, Scan wasted a lot of mining time and didn't really kill all that much. Just 400 minerals for the nexus. He lost that in the mining time, so was it really worth it? And here we go, looks like Scan is going to go for a scan on the main once again, seeing everything he needs to see. This man, he has trained his scans so well. And it looks like this Reaver is going to be coming in, going to pick up a Dragoon here to try and help this out. And he's going to try and see if he can get some counter damage.
Yeah, scans, man. Yeah, it sounds like a joke. It kind of is, but it's true.
Yeah,
it's true. They're just incredible. Here comes the Reaver. How good is this going to be?
There are tanks sieged up in all the places that they need to be. Actually going to drop on the high ground here, try and take out the SCV on the command center, but look at that, picks it up, flies it away. Now there isn't any anti-air for the time being, there is just a single turret, a couple of Goliaths popping out though at just the right time, speed kicking in at just the right time as well. They're going to be able to get away with this Reaver.
I always wonder how greedy Protoss players are. The answer is just always...
Oh my god, that was big.
That was pretty good. Gets 3.
Yeah, and he evens up the supply, so that's something. A little bit of damage chipping away at the Terran player like this is what YSC needs to do to come back in the game. And also while this is going on, he's taking his third base, so that's going to be really hard for Scan to assault. Now let's see if this scan... Okay, this scan wasn't as good. He didn't see the third base. He did see the naturals mining again though, although he should assume that at this point.
Yeah, he should make sure to, I mean, check that obviously, but I don't think he's going to be going for drop play. I think he's just macroing at this point.
Yep.
But I think that's actually a really good choice by YSC to play, aggressively with the Reaver, expand behind it, because this expansion is going to be pretty hard to punish.
Yeah, I mean, just look how long it takes the probes to get over there from the main, though. This is so far away from his main base. As long as Scan doesn't scan it, then he should be in a good situation, as in YSC, because there is these double temples at the back that have a lot of health, but they are able to be broken down. And if Scan does break through his main, then all of a sudden that base is really far away. The probes are really marooned over on the island, and it looks like YSC is actually dropping into the island base of Scan and getting all his Dragoons stuck, so he's going to have to break his way through. But there we go, a Scan going down from Scan once again, sees the third base is mining, sees all of the tech, all of the gateways, and once again, living up to his name.
Yeah, that Scan is definitely going to live up to it, for sure. Really, really good information. And now that Scan is on 3 bases, he can actually use that info to make large, sweeping realizations. Like, is it okay to build 4 factories at a time? Well, yes, because he doesn't have to anything to worry about, unless these. Maybe I spoke too soon, Kicks. YSC could just bulldog right up the front. And he's got 4 Zealots in a shuttle and 2 Reavers in the other and a bunch of Dragoons.
Oh my god.
I think he's going for it.
Well, this is actually the worst place he could attack, though. If he was actually down on the low ground, he'd be able to get so much damage done. But it looks like he is going to try and go for this third base. Can he make it happen? The Reavers dropping out on the tanks. Double kill for that Reaver right there. And another Scarab going off in the SCV line along with this tank. And YSC looks like he's broken the third.
Damn, YSC, how good these Reaver shots, though. Not good enough. Siege tanks are siege tanks. They take out Dragoons pretty well. That's really impressive to watch. I think the biggest thing that I was worried about is what happens if that push doesn't work. I think he just has nothing, but it did. It worked incredibly well.
The Reaver's still alive in the shuttle as well. He's going towards the main. There is a turret there. Looks like he's going to save the shuttle though, and the Reaver.
Oh, if he drops it on a mine, that'd be tragic.
Oh no! Oh!
He tried. He tried. It was worth a shot.
That Reaver gave us... yeah, last Christmas that Reaver... No, last Christmas that Reaver gave me his heart, but then the very next day, Scan took it away. Yikes.
Yeah, with a spider mine.
Yeah.
Ooh, man. Okay, well, I mean, that is truly the way the cookie crumbles. Kicks. You, what is a roommate? I was playing Risk, the board game, with one of my roommates in college, and he kept beating me. He was like actually trashing me because I was just like this dumb little kid. I didn't know how to play the game. But,
oh my god, Tom.
Yeah, he told me this ultimate adage. He says, "Spread yourself like butter. You're gonna get." And I think that as YSC spreads himself a little bit too thin, Scan is able to really eat it up. Yeah, there you go. There's your analogy.
That's a pretty good analogy. Now, one thing I'd just like to point out is YSC nearly took on like a large chunk of Scan's army with nothing but 2 High Templar and a shuttle and 4 Dragoons. So, YSC, he's pretty good with shuttles and High Templar. And you know what? The fact he's got High Templar with Storm, with Speed Shuttles, he can go for Storm Drops. And the second those Storm Drops start hitting, I mean, he's got 3 Shuttles again. This man does not stop dropping. Somebody stop him.
Whatever works, right?
Yeah.
I mean, when Shuttle went to the army, we had to have somebody pick up the name of, Shuttle Man, and it's YSC for sure. He's actually going to cancel this command center as well as a little bit of bonus, so instant cancel there by Scan. Good job. These shuttles are really paying off.
Yeah, most importantly, that's Scan's third gas. He does not have a third gas yet. This is a mineral only. YSC is moving up to his 4th base, and despite losing his Nexus at the beginning of the game, YSC has brought this into a game. Now, Scan has hit that time. He's got 2 attack, +1 armor, should be about to finish as well. But the triple shuttle going into the 3rd base, and Archon being morphed up here. But the trouble is that's 3 shuttles worth of units, which will not be with the main army. But Scan pulling all of his tanks back to deal with the units in his 3rd. And YSC looks like he's going to jump forward in the middle.
Oh my gosh, this is so crazy, Kicks. What in the world? I cannot believe this game is as close as it is. That is utterly ridiculous to me. This is ludicrous. Scan is going to push with a very strong army, but it's up this narrow choke, and what's on the high ground?
Oh my god.
Storm?
Yes,
oh my
it
god.
is.
Oh, tragedy strikes. You can't do that.
What a godlike
Holy
play
cow.
there from YSC, using the map terrain perfectly. Scan did not have vision. He scanned there, but guess what? The Shulls picked them up. They've gone home, ready to get some more energy, and YSC is killing it this game.
Okay. Alright. I mean, it's
Oh
no
my
strong
god,
push,
these mines
but look
could be
at
big.
how many zealots is out here. Like, unless these are the most godly mine drags you've ever
And the
seen,
Shulls are back.
everything for Scan's gonna die.
It is. It looks like YSC's done it. He's finally broken the supply advantage the Scan had. Scan still only on 2 gases, one of them halfway done. One of them nearly depleted as well. And Scan is on a timer. YSC continues to add more gateways, continues to add more Storm. And he's going into double Stargate Arbiter. Oh my god, there's going to be another big storm. Oh, the storms from the high ground again. Somebody stop this man. Take his shuttles away or something. He's banned from using them, man. I can't deal with this. This is too good.
It is too good. YSC is playing his mind out right now, playing out of his mind even, to try to hang on and use that terrain to his advantage. But I think he might... so it's about this 4th base, right? If Scan can get the 4th up, then he's got the economy to continue powering through. But YSC's superior economy is really being leveraged incredibly well, cost-effectively.
God,
Now
here
here
we
he
go
goes, he's
again.
going to try to bomb again.
That's kind of an awkward bomb, but does get a lot of the vultures with that splash damage. The Dragoons coming in at the bottom. Storm once again going down on Scan's units. And it looks like YSC is still continuing to break through. The storms are never ending. And it looks like he's broken Scan's army.
Doesn't need Kicks. He is really trashing that, or at least starting to, and I cannot wait to find out what the extent of this this back and forth seesaw is.
Oh my god.
Because
now he's dropping on the high ground, and there's no units over here to defend this top right 4th base. This is getting really bad for Scan. Scan is going to have to pull all his units away from the middle of the map, and if he does that, it's going to give YSC an opening, but it looks like Scan is going to play a little bit more defensive. But how is he going to defend this 4th base in the top right? His units are so slow to get over here.
he's got to do it.
Oh, those mines are a good way of doing it.
Yeah, mines are good, but this is going to be rough. I think Scan will get there in time, but this is a small map, a very small one, and the biggest characteristic is that there's only 2 bases that haven't been taken yet, and those are so hard to defend. I don't think we're going to see them taken for a while. So
Yep.
this 4th is so important.
And it's being forced to pull back. He's going to lose his SCVs there if he doesn't pull them. The scanner is being targeted by YSC. Now this is because he's going double Stargate Arbiter. The Arbiters should finally be out in play. He's getting recall. He'll have stasis already. And I mean, when these Arbiters start coming in, if Scan does not have the scans he needs, does not have the vessels he needs, this could get really hairy really fast.
Whew, man, all right, let's keep an eye on this, right? Because it's gonna be a seesaw. It's not like one player loses and then, or it's not like one player gets stopped and then loses on the counter push. No, they're gonna rubber band back and forth for a little bit. But I think YSC's economy is starting to really do work for him. Oh, losing shuttles, like that's not the way to go. And
Yeah.
so, like I said, Scan is gonna rubber band it back the other way.
Yeah, now it looks like YSC is going to break through this side of Trumpter and expand to his own semi-island base. You can see how long that takes to kill it. Those buildings have very high armor. And Scan is actually going to start to defend in the right-hand side of the map now with a few tanks, with a few vultures. He wants to make sure that if any units get elevated over, he has defense for it. And he is in the perfect position because here we go. The elevators from YSC starting up yet again.
Well, let's see. What is going to happen here? Does Scan realize this? Can he hang on, or does he just get GG'd out from all these crazy drops? Obviously, the biggest thing is that he's taken that upper right-hand corner base. That's kind of all that matters. If he can keep that going, he'll have enough for every upgrade he could possibly want. He's already got +3 weapons, which are just going to blow up anything that YSC has. And what does YSC have left to do? Build more zealots?
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't have that many gateways still. He's still stuck on 4 bases. He is pretty much dumping his entire army up in this top right position. And Scan does not know this is happening. He has no vision there. He is trying to build a command center to take his own semi-island base and get that additional gas. But it's just not enough. Now, you can see Scan is actually scanning for the army. He's trying to figure out where all the units are from YSC. And yes, he can see some gateway units. Yes, he can see that these side disruptors have been taken down. But he can't see the Arbiter. And there's an Arbiter heading up to this 4th base now. There's actually quite a lot of defense, so YSC needs to be careful.
Yeah, I think you just sack this Arbiter. I don't know if he wants to... Yeah. Oh, he does go for the recall.
Oh my god, the Mind Drag. And the thing is, he's bringing the units up from the bottom as well, so this is going to be a lot of damage. This 4th base likely to go down, depending on if these Zealots can get on top of the tanks, with the Mines still doing a lot of damage. The High Templar with the Storm, yet again. Is this enough to break through Scan's defense? I'm not so sure, but Scan is definitely trying to hold on.
He's trying to hold on, but he doesn't even know that he... Never mind. But I think the biggest problem is going to be the rallied reinforcements for YSC.
Oh, and there's a recall in the main as well.
Yeah, they can't continue. The recall in the main, though, is going to actually get a lot of damage done. It's on
There's
top
not
of
really that many units, so that's a pretty big deal. I mean, he's not going to be able to get the armories. He's going to be able to try and kill some of these vultures coming in. But it looks like YSC going to try and push through the middle of the map. I mean, there's still a lot of tanks here defending. So could YSC be throwing away too many units? He needs to be careful not to over-recall, not to overdrop. He's obviously taken a lot of damage. His gas base will be depleted a lot faster than Scans are, or Scans will be. But we're still going to have a game. It's still not over.
How is this not over, Kix? What? Okay.
I don't know. It's just, I mean, both players have been sending a lot of units in. Well, I say both players, it's more been YSC throwing units into a meat grinder in terms of Scan, but always trading just efficiently enough. But this is the big play now from Scan. YSC actually has double shuttles. They're not doing anything, but he's likely going to go and carpet bomb this base when he feels ready. But Scan is getting ready to push through these temples. And if he can push through these temples, this is going to be likely a situation that YSC cannot recover from. Now, YSC does see that that base is up. There is actually a vessel getting ready for an EMP. This Archon is still killing buildings, so he's had his work cut out for him. But here we go, 3 shuttles coming in. They're going to be heading towards the main, but there's a lot of defense up here. Could this be a big mistake?
Yes, it absolutely could be. Here come the shuttles. I mean, this is going to be do or die. I think, you know, it's not like this will decide the game, but I think it will really shift the inevitable outcome.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Let's see what's inside. 4 zealots, 4 zealots, 4 zealots. So 12 zealots in here. I think he's going to come down from the bottom, carpet bomb these tanks, blow everything up.
Yeah, it looks like that's going to be what it is. He's moving all his units, but now we see the tables have turned. Scan is the one on the high ground. Is it over? It doesn't look like it. We're still going to have YSC pushing forward a little bit with some of his units, but with Scan securing this 4th gas, things are looking a little bit better for him. And YSC is actually moving in with a lot of units. I mean, there is going to be a big set of storms. Oh no! He doesn't get storms out the High Templar, but the shuttles doing a lot of damage to this tank line.
Yeah, but there's more. There's more. And then look at across the map at the base in the center for Scan. He's got another entire army there about to push through these Zelnagas.
Yep. And I mean, look at the amount of tanks that are coming through from this main base now. He was keeping his units back to defend against recall. It looks like the moment in this game where YSC was throwing away so many units throughout the game. Recall in the main though, that's a massive zealot recall, but there's a lot of mines, needs to be careful. But Scan immediately pulls his army back. This is the move. that YSC needed to make, but look at this Scan getting ready to go into the main from those temples. YSC has no way to get units over there, and it looks like YSC going to be not recall. Oh my god, he does recall again. This is going to get out of hand very quickly for both our players here.
Man, YSC is the most annoying player to play against. He's dropping you, he's recalling you. This is like that Artosis clip from Artosis Loves StarCraft, where he's just like, ah, I'm over here. I'm over here now. He's just dropping, recalling everywhere. And for Terran, you know, you have to eventually extend away from your production facilities. And YSC is just really, really punishing him. This is absolutely how to play PvT YSC's way.
Yeah, but the trouble is, YSC has a lot of units on here. Scan has pulled all his units back, but he still has tanks threatening the main base of YSC. YSC with a lot of money still banked up, not much gas remaining. And I mean, yes, he is going to trade away a lot of these buildings. Scan actually loses a lot of depots throughout that. There is still a lot of zealots here on top of the tanks. No vultures are here to defend these. But Scan definitely gets the better edge of that engagement, I would say. YSC losing a lot of units, but here we go. Here is round number 2. 2 Arbiters at the bottom side of the map. Now, is this going to be a mistake? Is this going to leave YSC open for a counter? Yeah. It looks like Scan is sending his entire army down there.
3 Stargate carriers behind us as well, so I think that will be the inevitable, or the actual end of the game is like, can Scan switch back to recall? Recall!
Luckily enough for Scan, he was sending, luckily enough for Scan, he was sending all of his units over here already, so that doesn't work out too well, but another Arbiter going into the main. EMP! Oh my god, it's a Bermuda recall! Jacob recall there! Gets a shuttle that goes down, but that's gotta feel bad.
He recalls a shuttle that dies instantly. The panic. Oh, that's so heartbreaking.
It is, and I mean, that's more units that YSC has thrown away. He's going into this triple Stargate though. Can he survive long enough? Can he stop the Terran from pushing through these temples into his main? If he can, he has a chance at winning this game. But if Scan gets in before these Stargates are finished, or before they finish... Oh wow, he's actually going 4 Stargate carrier. And he's got 4 carriers already.
Oh my god. Well, cool. I guess if that's the way to win the game, it's really the way to win the game. Somebody clip that recall, by the way. Put that on Reddit. That's so funny.
That's a great recall.
It never happens in like professional or even like semi-pro games, but it sure does. 4 carriers at a time, and I think this is really gonna catch Scan off guard. I mean, he has a ton of Goliaths, but he doesn't have this many Goliaths.
Yeah, and they're all over the other side of the map pretty much. Like, it looks like he's gonna try and break through. I mean, oh my god, YSC making the ultimate gamble, gonna push through the Xel'Naga temples while his Goliath, or while his carriers try and take down the tanks at the back. A dropship gonna go down. And it looks like this is a 2-pronged assault here from Scan. Scan cannot have all of his units all in the right place at the moment. A lot of his units still stuck at his 5th base. The science facility going to go down, so that's going to be no additional upgrades, but 3-2 is already completed. He did actually lose his other armories, so he must have rebuilt them. Otherwise he can't build a... Oh yeah, he's got 1 more left. So he does start that upgrade, but here we go. It looks like we are going to have an EMP on the carriers.
That's a great way to help clear them up. And really, the bigger thing is that now they can't do their carrier micro as well, because if they get anywhere near those Goliaths, they just die instantly. So he's going to have to pull back, wait for more.
And not only that, but YSC is starting to mine out. His mineral-only 3rd base is mined out. His natural is mined out. His 4th base is mined out. The only base he has remaining is the one he has just opened up to Scan's army. But look at this. This is so many carriers. This is 8 carriers suddenly. And Scan does not have the Goliath count here to deal with this.
He's got a few turrets kicking in, but you're right. This is insanity carrier numbers. So this base is pretty dead. But what happens in the meantime? Where are these Goliaths going? They're all stuck in the main. Oh my gosh, that's really rough. Scan's mispositioning is going to cost him a base here. Yeah,
I mean, this could actually cost him the game, because how is he going to deal with 8 carriers while YSC does not have the income to replenish all the interceptors? When all the Goliaths are nowhere near the carriers, they're going to be able to kill these bases, kill the SCVs, peace out,
Oh,
and then you know what's going to happen? The
They're-
gateway units are going to go into the main.
you are correct. These are 1-2-1 carriers, 2 shields, 1 armor, and attack. So they are pretty well upgraded. The interceptors are no slouches. These are super scary, and they've got +2 air weapons on the way. So we're really getting super ultra late game here. YSC, I think carriers might just be his victory condition.
Yep, I mean, despite that, I mean, he's killing all of the Goliaths. He is going to have to fall back with his carriers. Can't afford to lose any of them. But he's got gateway units pushing through the middle. The vultures are going to clean that up. But look at the main now. There's barely anything in here to defend. There's still units that could push forward. But it's still going to be carriers against Goliaths to try and edge out this game. If Scan can kill the carriers, he is going to win the game. YSC is dangerously low on minerals. You can see vultures heading through the middle of the map to try and kill any additional gateway units. And Scan is actually getting on top of the carriers.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. That's he killed 2 carriers there. What the crap? Okay, wow. Scan gonna hold that base? That's insane.
He is.
The other way to win the game is to kill the Protoss' base because there's no money. So the problem with carriers is that even though they're great, they're only great if you have money to make interceptors. And so if you don't, obviously, then you will lose.
Yeah. Now it looks like Scan is pushing forward with his tanks, forces the gateway units at the back to retreat, but the carrier count still at 6. No, he's actually gone up more now. There's actually going to be 10 carriers, but YSC is broke. YSC is functionally unable to build anything, and there's actually an Arbiter going in to die to the Goliath, so that's not something he wants to do. But how is Scan going to deal with this many carriers, this many interceptors? The Goliaths do not know what to shoot.
I honestly think shooting interceptors is the better choice here, just because your opponent won't be able to make very many more of them. But he is trying to target the carriers. There are a couple in red health, so those are some things to think about. Finally, the base is going to get shut down by 10 carriers, and I think Scan is actually going to lose this game, Kicks.
He is. It's been a long, long game, but Scan is finally at death's door. His 4th base is almost mined out now. His mineral only's mined out, but there's still a lot of tanks. But I mean, tanks can't shoot up. All of his Goliaths have gone down. And I think YSC has done it. I think after all of this time, YSC has managed to build the carrier count necessary to take us to a Game 5. Oh, but the Nexus goes down.
Wait, what? Oh my god, he can't mine anymore. He's distance mining with 1,000,000 probes.
But Scan doesn't have any units anymore, does he? He has 3 Goliaths. Yeah, he's got 3 Goliaths, that's it. He's building some out of his main base, but I don't know, I think YSC still has this. Look at the carrier micro, it's just so crisp.
It really is. This is a thing of beauty to watch. Yeah, I think YSC just has too much. 10 carriers is... What a way to win the game. Both players are distance mining, by the way.
Yeah.
They both lost their bases there. I think that's it. GG. Scan taps out. Whew. Wow.
What
Ace
a game.
match. Here it comes. Yeah. This series is so sick.
This is possibly, like, I casted so many Clash Royales. I did something like 14 of them back in 2017. I've not casted a solo tournament until now, obviously. We've been doing the STPL together. But
Yeah.
that's easily the best, well, this is the best finals I've ever casted from a solo tournament. It's just been insane. And we're going to be heading into game number 5. It's going to be on the most conventional map in the pool. It's going to be 3 players again, which is obviously slightly different to what you'd normally see. But it's going to be Tau Cross, so everything's still to play for. Game number 5 in a best of 5. Could we ask for anything better to round out the Christmas Cup?
A present. Well, I guess
Yeah.
we're already going to get our present from Kicks on Christmas. But
Yeah.
yeah, the 5-game best of 5 is certainly a great present. Tau Cross, a map that was actually in the map pool on ladder, even though I vetoed it, it was there. Probably a little bit more of a standard map than Hitchhiker for sure. So yeah, let's get into it. This is game number 5 to crown the champion of the STPL Christmas Cup.
Yeah, just while the replay loads up, let me quickly go through what you're seeing on screen. Obviously, Tau Cross, so far in the SCPL, we didn't actually No, that was actually the old Clash for Char stats, I think it was. So we've not really seen too many TVPs on here. We haven't actually seen any so far, according to the stats. This is a map from 2006, so not the newest of maps, but certainly one that has come back time and time again for many tournaments. It's going to be Game 5, Seoul Scan versus Seoul's YSC to decide the championship. And starting us off here in the top left-hand position, we do have the blue the blue Terran fighting for Seoul, fighting for himself here. It's Scan.
And his opponent in the green is Protoss in the upper right-hand corner. It's YSC. Brilliant carrier play to carry himself into the final game in this best of 5. $200 on the line. $200+
Yeah.
if you guys want to donate with STPLCC code. Type !donate in the chat. That's how you do it. And wow, this is a totally different game because we have so many more bases. It's an entire 3-player map, and there's none of these weird chokes in the middle like Hitchhiker has.
Yeah, Hitchhiker's certainly not the most normal map ever, but it's one of my favorite maps to cast games on. Whenever we get into late game situation on Hitchhiker, they're always amazing. And I mean, that game just proves it. It's just really cool to see a game on it again, and if you did miss any of the STPL so far, we're in the middle of round number 3. This is, of course, the Christmas Cup, the side tournament, but the main tournament is still going on. We have 16 teams, well, 15 now. MSJ have dropped out, unfortunately. 2 groups. We're leading into the final week of round 3, where we'll decide who's going to be going into the playoffs, which will be on the 7th, 9th, and 11th of January. Obviously, if you do want to keep up with news on that, you can find the threads on Team Liquid. You can also follow STPL TV on Twitter to get all the latest news, and you can check the STPL TV YouTube for any of the previous games that have been played. So if you want to go check out more Hitchhiker games, look back at the round 2 casts where me and Rapid saw a good number of them.
Yeah, there were actually quite a few. We covered most of the games in this tournament, so we really got a chance to see exactly how these players did get here. So, let's see, what else do we have to look forward to this game? I hope we get another one of those long macro games, and that Scan can find a way to deal with carriers, which is honestly for this map specifically much easier. Because it doesn't have those like nooks and crannies. It's not so impossibly hard for Goliaths to get around. I wish we could have seen Scan go for something like Cloaked Rays. I think that obviously that would have just like dominated it, but it's very volatile. If you can't kill the observer, then you lose everything. So
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, we've seen Reavers come out of YSC a good number of games, and just a reminder to anyone who missed the beginning of that last game, YSC went for a 12 Nexus. He lost the 12 Nexus, and he still came back. Now, if that's proof of his ability to play if that's not proof of his ability to play this game well, I'm not sure what is. And I know there's probably some guy on Reddit being like, he played Hitchhiker, and it's a bad map, and he won because carriers are OP. But you know what? He did an amazing job to even get that far in the game against a player as good as Scan.
he sure did, Kicks. Really well done. Let's see. As good as both of these players are, you know, they haven't been without their flaws. A lot of times their opening strategies can really kind of set them on a course that isn't, you know, too good, with like, you know, losing your first Nexus like we saw in the previous game. So let's keep an open mind and see what else is in store for us here in this series. So. Looks like we just have pretty standard openers from both sides. No quick next eye this time around, or command centers for that extent and purpose. Having our first Vulture come out, so we did get a Vulture first before, you know, taking up to tanks, which will be coming out pretty soon. And there is a Dragoon followed by another one coming out onto the map.
Yep. And we've got that command center coming up behind this bunker, so it is going to be a factory expand once again from Scan. He has been well known for doing that, not only in his normal play, but also in this tournament. And I mean, we're Game 5 of the Grand Finals. There was a few weird games at the beginning of the tournament, but the round of 4 certainly made up for it in the end, and you know what? Whoever wins this series, I'll be happy, because they've shown us such amazing games.
Absolutely have. Such a incredible way to finish this Christmas Cup. I think the biggest thing for me, at least as I watch this and try to make heads or tails of things, is trying to figure out what is the defining characteristic of like the win condition. And I think I said it earlier: is Scan wins with these mid-game timing pushes, whereas if he has to fight early on or even super late, that can really kind of be his downfall. So super late game, YSC, his carrier Michael is great, his strategic choices to get there were really good, his ability to come back and hold on from losing that early Nexus, really good. So
yep.
I hope that Scan plays to his strength and tries for another one of these huge 2-1 pushes.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, we tried to see him do that last game, and YSC managed to have his number. He held it off, and he held it off not by facing the army head-on. He did the most annoying thing possible, and just went everywhere else. Wherever Scan's units weren't, that's where YSC would be. He'd fly in with 3 shuttles, drop a ton of gateway units, and all of a sudden Scan would be scrambling to get back home. Now, YSC doing a pretty good job with his harassment of the Dragoons at the front. This is a dangerous position for Scan to be in. Obviously, YSC does have the ability to move forward and snipe some of these tanks. But it looks like Scan should be able to hold on for now.
Yeah, this is just kind of our standard little back and forth. The no siege mode is a weird way to play this. I feel like that's the way it's supposed
Oh my
to
god.
play. Now, obviously, trying to block. Oh my god, he's going to go for the dive. Is he going to kill this tank? Oh my god, he gets one.
He gets two of them.
He's the third tank. He's going to get all 3 tanks with a dive with only losing 2 Dragoons. What?
Oh man, how is YSC this good at controlling gateway units? It just doesn't even make sense. I mean, Scan is going to land his barracks again. I'm not quite sure why he lifted it to begin with, but he's still forced to repair his bunker. He's forced to repair this barracks even, and that's money he's not spending on units. Meanwhile, he is going into 2 factory production. No armory as of yet. Back at home, YSC going back into Reavers again, and the shuttle is already on the way. And there is no anti-air minus this single turret and these 4 Marines.
What on earth? This is incredible, at least to me, to be able to see a game of this caliber, this back and forth, this many diverse strategies. These players are really kind of pulling out the full book. You got to target the SCVs with that Reaver. There we go. Starting to blow them up, and now the Reaver, or the bunker's going to fall. Scan is getting pressured out of his mind here. He's got to find some way to deal with these Reavers, but there's no siege
Oh,
mode.
the Scarabs! Oh my god, he's lifting up the Reavers the second the SCVs get closer. He's pulling the Reaver back. The SCVs... Oh my god, that's another 4 kills.
Oh my god. You gotta cut your losses here, my dude. 2 more tanks about to pop out. 4 would be a kind of a magic number to be able to push this back, but he's just trying to target whatever he can, really. Oh my god, this is so clutch.
It is. With these second 2 tanks coming in, this is going to be really what it takes to make YSC think differently about pushing straight in. Scan's target firing is absolutely impeccable, but the third base coming up from YSC, it's a gas base this time. It's not the same as on Hitchhiker. Obviously, there's a lot more gas available on this map, so things could get a little bit better for Scan, but Scan pushing forward, taking out another Dragoon, and going to be able to stabilize, but he is nearly 30 supply behind already.
He sure is. Well, I don't know what the right play is from this point. As Scan, you really have to get some value out of siege tanks, but they don't even have siege mode yet, right?
I didn't see it get researching. He's actually going into Mines and Speed. He's going to try and go into Mass Vulture here to go for a big push. I guess he must have Siege. I mean, he's killed a lot of units. He knows there is a Reaver damaged in a shuttle. And this could be a timing for him to hit. Now, YSC does know this is coming. He's obviously got the Observer over the Armory. Perfect play by him. YSC still continuing to add gateway units in, but once again, I mean, Scan's units are up at the 12 o'clock position. What happens if this shuttle goes straight into the main?
Oh, wow, I guess that's actually a really good point. Well, What can we see here?
Oh, this is
yeah, he's got to catch this. This is what wins or loses the game. You lose all your tanks here to these Reavers running you around, then you can say goodbye to your chances of winning here. But if you can corral the shuttle over a turret or something, then maybe there's a shot.
Yeah, now it looks like the shuttle is going to move back. Siege mode is done, so these Reavers, oh my god, he needs to pick up the Reavers quickly. Does get a couple of Scarabs off, kills another tank, which delays Scan even more. And the push has been delayed long enough that this third base is now up. He has Dragoons back here to defend against Vultures as well. And YSC is stable.
YSC stable, but more importantly, he's removed from Scan really his strongest, well, strength, is mid-game. It's just non-existent now. He's going to have to spend really almost the rest of this game trying to stabilize and get back on his feet here, because he's been just knocked so far back with this Reaver play. This is really impressive by YSC.
Yep, now Scan is starting to get Vultures out on the map, laying some mines, blocking the expansions. Now YSC actually has a probe hidden down here. This is actually going to go back out, maybe block this area with pylons. You can actually pylon wall this in. But the ironic thing is, he's going to block himself in with a Vulture, so the probe's definitely going to go down before it can get the Nexus. But this isn't the major thing for YSC. If Scan delays this, it's good for him, but it's not a game-winning maneuver. It's not the move that gets him back into the game. He's 50 supply nearly behind now, is trying to get a third command center. I actually spoke to Scan about this a few months ago. I was having a lot of trouble. I was getting really frustrated with my games, and I was like, hey Scan, like, when you're behind, what do you do? Like, how do you come back in the game? And Scan said you have two ways. You can either go all in, or you can play super greedy. And Scan is going to try and play super greedy here to come back in. This is the choice he's made. Will it work against YSC, whose late game is absolutely insane? I'm not so sure, but Scan's going to give it a go.
And just barely not losing that Observer, and I like what Scan's going to try to do. Is he going to be able to take out these Reavers in the back? One of them's at 19 HP, but they're going for it. And now they're going to be able to kill
depots.
3 supply depots. Oh no! And yeah, there they go, all 3 down. That's such an incredible amount of damage.
That's one Reaver down
there.
there.
Shuttle away. Yeah, so he did get one of the Reavers, and he's going to push the shuttle back. So, you know, he's stabilized, but just look at how much damage he's taken. This is insane.
Yeah, and being forced to rebuild those depots is not nice. He is supply blocked again, and that means no more units. Meanwhile, YSC on his already 7 gateways, adding up to 9. Gonna add on additional tech at the back, going into a Stargate, so we're gonna see Arbiter most likely behind this, as he does have the Templar Archives already. And I mean, it could be carriers. He does love his Storm, taking much after one of his older mentors, Jangbi. But YSC is just an incredible Protoss player to watch play PvT.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, YSC's grasp of this matchup, how to harass, get an early advantage, and snowball that later on, or even just his ability to play super late game. I don't know. It's all great. But let's talk about the movements. What's gonna make the biggest difference here? Securing bases for Protoss is what you got to do to ensure that you can keep that tempo advantage in your favor. And that's exactly what YSC is doing. He's got 4, getting a 5th, and Scan is just desperately holding on to a 3rd base right now, trying to get some degree of macro going. Look at his name. Is that a Reaver?
Yeah,
is that Reaver killing everything? I think it is.
Well, the Reaver didn't kill anything, but it did force the SUVs away. The gateway units moving forward in the middle. Scan has been forced to pull back most of his forces. And this could be the moment that YSC chooses to strike. He's up 100 supply now, and things are looking very, very dire for Scan. Obviously, the supply block didn't help him whatsoever. He's going into +1 armor behind this, so it is just going to be +1 attack, +1 armor for him at the moment. Can't really afford a second armory, even if he wanted to. He's going to add a missile turret down here as well. But YSC's army is just getting bigger and bigger. And one thing that we saw in the last game is YSC loves his shuttles. And this is the most droppable main, I think, in the map pool. It's just absolutely insane how much surface area that he has to cover.
This and like Holy World has really dropped.
Oh yeah.
Too. Either way, I mean, let's just get ready. We know it's coming. It's going to be Gateway Man to the rescue, YSC. He's getting Canary
Reaver gets taken down
behind this. Oh, sick. Okay, all right. Well, that's one way to stop it. But like, let's just watch this Gateway army in the middle fan out. This is going to be a sight for sore eyes. So many mines, though. He's going to have to drag a lot of those.
Scan has won engagements like this before. You think he doesn't have enough, and then suddenly he wins. But it looks like this time it could be too much. Storm is going to be coming in here as well. This is the final bastion of hope for Scan. All of his army is here, and YSC looks like he's broken through. Scan continues hold on for not much longer. GG! And YSC is going to be the inaugural Christmas Cup champion.
Wow, what an incredible game. What that series can teach you just so much. Scan, I really feel like is such a good mid-game player, but YSC just seemed to know perfectly how to, in this PBT matchup, set him far enough behind early on that he could snowball the win. And even when Scan was able to set YSC really far behind, like in game number 4, somehow he comes back from losing his fast expand with incredible Shuttle Reaver play and finishes it off with the cherry on top that was the carrier control there. Just wow, what are you gonna say? That's just
exactly. There's not really too much
remarkable.
You can see. I mean, one thing I will say just before we end the stream, of course, that's going to be the end of the Christmas Cup. Obviously, from us, we hope you guys have a very happy holiday, no matter what you celebrate and where you celebrate. But there's still one more thing you can do, one more gift you can give, and that's by going to the Matcherino page, putting in that code STPLCC. Doesn't cost you a penny, a cent, a ruble, doesn't cost you anything. It just adds another $1 to the prize pool, which is going to be dished out either later tonight or tomorrow morning when all the players have signed up to make sure they get their money. So if you can increase the prize pool in any way with that code, that will help the players a lot.
Yep, a big thanks to you, Kix, for putting this tournament on. You didn't have to do this, but it was much appreciated. I loved casting the games. I hope you guys loved watching them. Make sure to follow STPL on Twitter at STPL TV. You can follow Kix and I on Twitter at KixSD and at Rapid Casting. So you guys should all go do that. And make sure to follow Kix's channel right up above by hitting the heart. And that way you'll get notified whenever round 3 of the STPL continues in the new year. But of course, the most important thing is to be with the people that you love and have a fantastic holiday season. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas indeed. See you guys next time.